Chapter 247. Feeling that his body was really transforming, Lin Rei's desire for the thunder tribulation increased again. Looking up at the thunder tribulation, which was covered with dark clouds and rising purple chi, Lin Rei's eyes were full of desire and greed, as if he was looking at a peerless treasure. Ha ha ha, come on, the more the better. Come on. At this time, Lin Rei was roaring at the thunderclouds above his head like a madman, looking very scary. Boom. Boom. At this time, the thunder tribulation had been completely infuriated by Lin Rei. It did not act according to common sense like before. After being completely enraged by Lin Rei, the thunder tribulation instantly sent down more than a dozen thunder tribulations. Each thunder tribulation was much stronger and more terrifying than the previous one. Looking at the dozen thunder tribulations in the sky, Zhou Bao instantly released his cultivation and his fighting spirit soared to the peak. The martial Emperor Divine Spear instantly appeared in his hand. Looking at the thunder tribulation rushing towards him, Lin Rei directly rushed towards the dozen thunder tribulations without any anger in his eyes. Silent Thunder Spear Skill, Thunder Technique, Ultimate Kill. In an instant, after Lin Rei rushed to a certain height, the martial Emperor Divine Spear, which had not been used until now, moved at this moment. In an instant, hundreds of spear shadows rushed out of the shackles of the martial Emperor Divine Spear, and rushed directly towards the dozen thunder tribulations. Break for me! In an instant, the martial Emperor Divine Spear collided with the thunder tribulation. A strange situation appeared in the sky. The moment the martial Emperor Divine Spear collided with the thunder tribulation, the spear shadows exploded. A magnificent scene appeared in the sky, which would make people addicted to it and unable to extricate themselves from it. And so, just like that, after blocking the first 3 waves of tribulation lightning, Linli began to devour them. Slowly the 4th wave. By the time Linli reached the 79th wave of tribulation lightning, finally, Linli couldn't hold on any longer. He was smashed into the desert by the tribulation lightning. Bang! This was a lightning tribulation that no one had ever seen before. It was a thick purple lightning tribulation that was filled with pressure. Lin Rei was sure that even an Earth Immortal expert might not be able to release such pressure. However, what Lin Rei couldn't figure out was that this thunder tribulation had appeared when he was undergoing the Mahayana thunder tribulation. At this time, after Lin Rei was blasted into the desert by the thunder tribulation, the ground was directly blasted by the thunder tribulation into a huge pit of more than 20 meters. The surroundings were scorched black and unrecognizable. The originally golden killing intent of the desert was now unrecognizable. Lin Rei, who had been struck, was currently lying in the middle of the huge crater with his face up and head down. At this moment, Lin Rei's hair had been blown up by the lightning tribulation and was standing up. It looked very funny. Cough, 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 cough. A cough came from Lin Rei's mouth. When Lin Rei coughed, a plume of black smoke came out of his mouth. F***CK. I didn't expect this. This thunder tribulation can actually pass through the fairy weapon and hit me directly. At this time, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with astonishment and doubt. He looked up at the thundercloud that was brewing the 81st thunder tribulation and couldn't help but blurt out these words. After Linli was blasted into the ground by the tribulation lightning, Su Bo, Murong Yu, and the hundreds of dark ones who were 10 meters away all had nervous expressions on their faces as they looked at the huge crater created by the tribulation lightning in the desert. At this moment, they were very worried that something would happen to Lin Rei. It was not that they didn't believe in Lin Rei's strength, but they believed more in the power of the thunder tribulation. Therefore it was inevitable that they were worried. At this time, Lin Rei stood up from the huge crater with difficulty. He looked up at the sky and saw that the thundercloud had begun to brew. When he thought of the thunder tribulation, his heart was slowly filled with fear, but more of it was filled with anticipation. Humph, even if you pass through the fairy weapon, so what? Don't think that I will be afraid of you and submit. If that's what you think, then you are wrong. So come on. Let me see how strong your thunder tribulation is. At this time, the madness in Lin Rei's heart could no longer be expressed with words. BZZT, 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 BZZT. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was originally shining brightly, had become as black as ink. His body was filled with black fog that floated around Lin Rei's body. Haha, I haven't really used my full strength since the last breakthrough. I didn't expect that the first time would be a Mahayana realm thunder tribulation. At this time, Lin Rei was in the huge crater. His eyes were crimson, and the black fog around him was very compatible with Lin Rei's current appearance. Coupled with his evil smile, Lin Rei couldn't help but feel a chill in the heart. Heavenly Devil Slash. I didn't expect that the last time I used you was in the profound heaven realm. What I didn't expect is that I can use you again in this place where I used to live. Ah, it seems like it really is. Rumble. Rumble. The moment the purple thunder tribulation in the sky sensed the black fog around Lin Rei, the pressure of the thunder tribulation skyrocketed and reached a critical point. It was as if the black fog around Lin Rei had not been recognized by the thunder tribulation. It felt that if it didn't eliminate it now, there would be endless troubles in the future. Whoosh! When Lin Rei felt the pressure of the thunder tribulation continue to rise, the Martial Emperor Divine Spear was stored in the system by Lin Rei. In the blink of an eye, the Emu 10,000 Laws sword appeared in his hand. The sword chi around him was so vigorous that it made people's hair stand on end. The moment the Emu 10,000 Laws sword appeared, a surge of sword essence rushed into the sky and rushed toward the thunderclouds that were brewing the thunder tribulation. It seemed that the sword essence was not satisfied with the thunderclouds and wanted to compete with them immediately. Haha, can't wait? Then let's fight together and pierce through the thunderclouds. Let's let it know that I, Lin Rei, am not someone it can baptize. Whoosh! Lin Rei's left leg kicked backward. The recoil was obvious. After Lin Rei flew up into the sky, the ground where he was originally sitting had a crack that was a few meters long. Even now, it was still extending outwards. Rumble. Gotcha! In an instant, the power of the previous 79 thunder tribulations increased. At this time, the thunder tribulation was filled with a tyrannical and domineering aura. It rushed toward Lin Rei with a terrifying pressure. Humph, you want to kill me? You're still lacking. Subo, I'll take you down with me. After feeling the thunder tribulation rushing toward him, Lin Rei's lips curled into a smile. He stared at the thunder tribulation. Sky Devil Slash, Devouring Heaven Spell, Azura Sword Skill. 3 skills in 1, kill for me. At this moment, Lin Rei had already thrown it out. In order to be able to break through his cultivation, the current Lin Rei did not care about the cost of using what he had learned. The moment Lin Rei finished roaring, 3 different beams of light rushed out from the Emu 10,000 art sword and collided with the thunder tribulation. At this moment, when the people below saw Lin Rei's attack, their eyes were filled with shock and disbelief. Especially Subo and Morong Yu. Back then, they had personally witnessed the battle with the 5 Earth Immortal experts. However, the Lin Rei of that time and the current Lin Rei felt like a completely different person. Third brother, do you think that when second brother was fighting with the 5 old ancestors, he didn't use his full strength? Why is it that when I see the move second brother is using now, it seems to be on a completely different level from before? Raising his head to look at Lin Rei who was fighting with the thunder tribulation in the sky, Morong Yu's eyes were blank as he asked Subo who was beside him without turning his head. That's right. I can feel second brother's madness, dominance, disdain, and killing intent. These didn't appear when he was fighting with the 5 old ancestors. Moreover, second brother's move just now is comparable to the existence of the thunder tribulation in front of us. I'm sure that if second brother had used this move back then, not to mention the 5 old ancestors, even us and those who came to watch would have been destroyed by this move just now. Even if we wanted to leave behind a remnant of our souls and want to be reborn, that would be wishful thinking. Hearing Si and Morong Yu's words, Subo couldn't help but speak out everything that he had seen, felt, and comprehended just now. Even when he was answering Morong Yu, the fear in Subo's eyes and the trembling of his body showed that the current him was very, very afraid. Sigh. Looks like second brother really didn't have any money for us back then. He really didn't want to kill the 5 old ancestors. If he wanted to kill them, he wouldn't have had to wait for us to plead for mercy. At this moment, Subo and Morong Yu felt extremely guilty towards Lin Rei. When they thought of how they didn't trust him before, the guilt in their hearts increased by a bit. All right. Hurry up and watch. This is a rare opportunity, and it's also an opportunity that second brother gave us. We can't disappoint second brother's good intentions. As for what happened before, we'll use our lives to repay second brother in the future. At this moment, Subo had already thought it through. At this moment, what they should do the most was to watch the tribulation, and not discuss how to repay and make it up to Lin Rei. I understand. Hearing third brother Subo's words, Murongyu hurriedly raised his head and paid attention to Lin Rei's every move in the sky. He began to comprehend the special energy in the thunder tribulation area. However, at this moment, Lin Rei, who was in the sky, didn't have the time to think about anything at all. At this moment, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with shock and astonishment as he looked at the thunder tribulation that was rushing towards him in the sky. Lin Rei could feel that he could clearly sense the truth of the great Tao within this thunder tribulation. However, due to his own strength, he was unable to comprehend the meaning within. Therefore, Lin Rei was extremely anxious in his heart. Bang! In an instant, after Lin Rei's 3 combined attacks collided with the 80th thunder tribulation, cracks began to appear. They were densely packed like a spider web as they began to unravel in all directions. However, the 80th thunder tribulation wasn't that easy to pass either. Just like his own attack, it began to crack. However, Lin Rei could feel that his attack wasn't able to completely destroy this thunder tribulation. At the same time, he didn't care about his own safety and directly rushed forward. In an instant, he arrived in front of the thunder tribulation. Humph, aren't you awesome? Aren't you very arrogant? Then you can go to my body and help me expand my meridians and improve my physical body. It's better than you disappearing. Looking at the thunder tribulation that was filled with a huge amount of energy, Lin Rei's heart was filled with excitement. He couldn't wait to break through to the next level of his physical body. Devouring heavenly art. Devour for me. Suddenly, Lin Rei placed one of his hands on the thunder tribulation that was filled with energy. A terrifying suction force pierced through Lin Rei's hand. However, at this moment, when Lin Rei's hand was placed on the thunder tribulation, it was blasted away by the powerful energy within the thunder tribulation. At this moment, Lin Rei's hand was badly mutilated. It was a frightening sight. Even so, Lin Rei didn't give up on devouring the energy within the thunder tribulation. This was because this was the only way he could break through to a higher level. This was also the only way he wouldn't be injured like this again. Slowly, the originally dense purple lightning began to fade in color after Lin Rei had devoured it for a while. The oppressive might began to diminish as well. At this moment, the 3-in-1 attack was finally unable to hold on any longer and began to disperse. Phew, this feels great. I didn't expect the energy within the thunder tribulation to be so strong. I can even feel that my physical body is rapidly transforming. However, if I want to successfully break through to the immortal artifact level, I'll need a lot of energy. At this moment, Lin Rei's eyes were closed. His face was filled with a comfortable expression. Moreover, his injured hand had also been repaired. It was even stronger than before. All of you, quickly retreat into the distance. The last thunder tribulation is about to descend. I can't guarantee that it won't affect the surroundings and harm all of you. Therefore, just in case, all of you should quickly retreat. Just as Lin Rei was feeling happy about his breakthrough, suddenly, a terrifying pressure that even he was afraid of instantly rolled down from above his head. It directly drowned Lin Rei in a sea of pressure. At this moment, Lin Rei knew that the next thunder tribulation, which was also the last thunder tribulation, wouldn't let him pass through it so easily. Moreover, from the pressure, he could feel that the last thunder tribulation would definitely be extraordinary. At this moment, Lin Rei wasn't worried about himself. He was worried about Su Bo and the other person on the ground, as well as his group of disciples. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. After Lin Rei's order, the members of the Dark Unit understood and directly grabbed Su Bo and the other person to retreat into the distance. They only stopped when they were as far away as possible from the thunder tribulation's pressure. Well, okay, you guys stay there. No matter what danger I encounter, don't come up. Those who disobey will be killed without mercy. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't know how dangerous the next situation would be, but he knew that as long as he was in danger, hundreds of members of the Dark Unit would disregard their own safety and come up to save him. Therefore, in order to prevent such things from happening, Lin Rei could only warn them in advance of what might happen to prevent them from acting on their own. Yes, we will obey the sect leader's order. On the ground, the members of the Dark Unit and Su Bo heard Lin Rei's words. Their eyes were moist and their hearts were filled with warmth. They all knew that Lin Rei was protecting them. Therefore, they didn't want to disappoint Lin Rei's good intentions. They could only agree. Chapter 248. Looking at everyone leaving, Lin Rei no longer had anything to worry about. Looking at the final bolt of lightning in the thunderclouds, all the worries in Lin Rei's heart dissipated. Humph. Come on then. Let me see just how strong the final bolt of lightning is. Right now, Linley had completely absorbed all of the energy from the 80th bolt of tribulation lightning. Finally, the energy dissipated. Rumble. Rumble. Boom. 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 The final bolt of lightning in the thunderclouds seemed as though it could no longer hold itself back and wanted to rush out and destroy Lin Rei. The thunderclouds vibrated continuously, and the aura of the thunderclouds increased as well. Lin Rei, who was initially feeling a little pressured, felt even more speechless right now. Come on then, you motherfucker cur. I refuse to believe that if the first 80 bolts of lightning couldn't do anything to me, what can this final bolt of lightning do to me? Raising his head to look at the sky, Linley's eyes were filled with disdain as he looked at the rumbling thunderclouds, where the final tribulation lightning was brewing. Rumble. Crack. Lin Rei's voice seemed to have angered the thunderclouds. At this moment, the thunderous roars of thunder pierced through the clouds, blinding everyone in the vicinity. Other than the rumbling of thunder, there was no room for any other sound in their minds. In fact, some of the remaining people who did not have any cultivation base exploded upon hearing the thunderous roars. Their deaths were so gruesome that it was unbearable to watch. Bizizity. By now, Lin Rei was already prepared to either succeed or die trying. He knew that the 80th bolt of lightning was just the appetizer. This 81st bolt of lightning was the main course. And this main course was the condensation of all the energy from the previous 80+ bolts of lightning. Therefore, Lin Rei could only fight with his life on the line right now. Lin Rei's body shone brightly. The Emu 10,000 skills sword in his hands shot out sword chi in all directions. Every single sword chi that shot out of his body was enough to kill a powerful being who had the cultivation of an earth immortal. At this moment, Lin Rei was giving it his all. At this moment, all the immortal weapons were activated with the support of Lin Rei's spiritual energy. All the defensive mechanisms were ready. At this moment, all the martial skills and spiritual spells were condensed into the Emu 10,000 magical sword in order to overcome the last lightning tribulation. Boom! Boom! At this moment, the last thunder tribulation in the thunderclouds in the sky seemed to be preparing to fight to the death. Finally, the black thundercloud in the sky had completely turned purple. The pressure had reached an unbearable level. Even the Mahayana Realm Dark Tribe members on the ground were all suppressed to the ground. No one understood what was going on. Fortunately, with the protection of the Dark Tribe, Subo and Murong Yu were spared and were not injured by the pressure of the thunder tribulation. However, the shock the two of them felt at that moment had exceeded the most they had ever felt in their lives. They believed that it would also be the last time. Because at that moment, they saw that there was nothing in this world that could be solved with common sense. Of course, at this moment, they were more worried about Lin Rei, who was facing the thunder tribulation. They did not want anything to happen to Lin Rei. Kacha kacha. Suddenly, just as everyone's imaginations were running wild, the last lightning tribulation that was brewing in the sky moved at this moment. A lightning tribulation that was a few meters wide rushed out of the thunderclouds like an ancient murderer that had been imprisoned for a long time, heading towards the thing that he had been slandering for a long time. Its speed was terrifying to the extreme, making it difficult for people to catch its figure. At this moment, Lin Rei, who had been prepared, did not expect that the last thunder tribulation would be so fast that it exceeded the celestial pole and the range that he could withstand. Fortunately, he had been prepared, so at this moment, he was not so flustered. The Emu 10,000 magical sword in Lin Rei's hand carried a huge amount of spiritual energy. A power that seemed to be able to cut through the heavens and earth was calculated on top of it. The moment the thunder tribulation rushed out, the Emu 10,000 magical sword moved and rushed towards the last thunder tribulation. With a boom, a shocking crescent-shaped sword chi was thrown out by Lin Rei's Emu 10,000 magical sword at this moment. With a sizzling sound, a sound that seemed to be able to tear through the passing space sounded. At this moment, the sound was extremely unpleasant to the ears, making people feel like vomiting. Two figures rushed rapidly in the sky, as if Stephen did not want to lose to anyone. After a period of time, he would accelerate until the last two attacks were completely like afterimages. Bang! The two attacks collided in the next moment. A loud sound reverberated through the world. At this moment, there was no longer any sound in the minds of the people. Everyone's ears were ringing from the impact of this attack. Kacha! 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 Lin Rei, who was closest to the thunder tribulation, heard the sound of glass shattering the moment his attack collided with the last thunder tribulation. In an instant, Lin Rei's face changed, as if something bad was about to happen. Gotcha! Finally, the sound was completely broken. At this time, Lin Rei finally understood that the sound of glass shattering was not the sound of glass, but his own attack. After meeting the last thunder tribulation, it was so weak that it could not withstand a single blow. Lin Rei's eyes were filled with shock. He just stared blankly at the sky. The thunder tribulation broke through his attack and rushed towards him without any reduction in power. For a moment, Lin Rei did not know what to do. He felt a sense of powerlessness all over his body. At this moment, he did not know what to do. He did not even have the consciousness to protect his body. Lin Rei was completely dumbfounded. He just smiled and let the mighty thunder tribulation come. Humph, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Humph, Linley, even if you want to die, I don't want to die. Hurry up and attack with all your magic arts and martial arts. Although it still can't resist the last thunder tribulation of Purple Heaven Thunderbolt, it can at least reduce some of its attack. And the set of immortal weapons on your body can also help you for a while. Therefore, even if the last power can hurt you, for you, it's just a matter of taking some pills and drinking some spiritual liquid. You'll be fine after a period of recuperation. At the last moment, Linley, who had been prepared to accept his fate of death, suddenly heard a familiar voice, one that gave him a sense of security. His words gave Linley a renewed sense of hope. His eyes, which were originally filled with despair, were rekindled with hope at this moment. Ha ha ha, little dragon. You're really my lucky star. With you around, what am I afraid of? At this moment, Lin Rei didn't have the time to thank the little dragon. After saying that, Lin Rei once again mobilized all the spiritual power in his body and began to mobilize it towards the Emu 10,000 spell sword. Level 3 Incineration, Silent Thunder Spear Art, Dragon Subduing Step, and Starfinger. At this moment, all of them were transformed by Lin Rei into sword moves and condensed into the Emu 10,000 spell sword. Even the Devouring Heaven art was absorbed by Lin Rei. He raised his head and looked at the thunder tribulation that was about to rush in front of him. He held the hilt of the Emu 10,000 spell sword with both hands and waved it upwards. The same sword chi as before instantly rushed out and collided with the thunder tribulation. Dong pang. Gotcha. The result was the same as before. The sword chi was directly shattered by the thunder tribulation without any resistance. But at this moment, the thunder tribulation had slowed down a little, but it still arrived very quickly. Pang. Ah! Only the sound of a collision was heard, followed by a scream. It was like a ray of light, crashing down from the sky towards the ground. Pang! Just now, the thunder tribulation had directly broken through Lin Rei's attack and smashed directly onto Lin Rei's body. It also brought Lin Rei towards the ground. The result was obvious. Fortunately, he had the protection of the fairy weapon. Otherwise, Lin Rei would have lost his life long ago. At this moment, the huge pit that was originally created by Lin Rei was smashed again at this moment, and a shocking huge pit appeared. The moment the thunder tribulation brought Lin Rei to the ground and formed a huge pit, it disappeared between heaven and earth. And Lin Rei easily appeared at the bottom of the huge pit. However, at this moment, Linley, who was lying at the bottom of the huge pit, was still alive. The shining immortal weapons on his body had all turned into useless waste at this moment. His body had also become bloody at this moment. Anyone who saw him could not help but feel a chill down their spines. It was a horrifying sight. There was no place on his body that was unharmed, and all of them were bleeding. It was a very terrifying sight. Huff. Huff. Fortunately, you're fine. If you were to die, what would I do? Suddenly, above Lin Rei's head, the system's little dragon appeared, looking at Lin Rei's situation with concern. After a while, the little dragon heaved a sigh of relief and muttered to itself. Humph, I'll let you suffer a little. Growing too fast may not be a good thing. Besides, if you grow too fast and attract the attention of that person, then your days in the future will be even worse. So, this little bit of suffering is actually a good thing for you. At this time, when the little dragon was transferred to Lin Rei, its mind relaxed a little, but it immediately became like a father educating his child, reprimanding Lin Rei, who had not yet awakened. However, when the little dragon was talking about that person, its eyes were filled with worry. It knew that the little dragon was the system's spirit, but when it talked about that person, it could not help but worry. Moreover, the system was something that came from Hongming's era. Even Hong Jun had not been born at that time, let alone 3,000 demon gods. At that time, an ordinary person was comparable to 3,000 demon gods, and every one of them had reached the ultimate truth of the law. To be able to make the little dragon so worried, it must be an earth-shattering person, a person from the same era as it. Hee, kid, I wish you good luck. The road ahead will not be so easy, but don't worry. In order to let you grow faster, even if it violates the system's rules, I will help you become stronger as soon as possible. At this time, when it saw that Lin Rei was fine, the little dragon was relieved and disappeared back into the system. Ah! Not long after the little dragon disappeared, Lin Rei woke up from his coma. However, at this moment, Lin Rei's body was full of injuries, and there was no place that was unharmed. Therefore, the moment Lin Rei woke up, a terrible pain drilled into his head. That pain came from both the soul and the body. Heh! Ah! This is really King amazing. I didn't expect the thunder tribulation of the Mahayana realm to be so powerful. At this moment, Lin Rei seemed to have misunderstood the thunder tribulation of breaking through to the Mahayana realm. Of course, for an ordinary person undergoing the thunder tribulation, every thunder tribulation that Lin Rei was undergoing now was more powerful than the last thunder tribulation of an ordinary person. Therefore, not all thunder tribulations were like this. His thunder tribulation was only an exception, but he did not know about it. I better recover quickly. I swear that I will never experience this kind of pain again. At this moment, Lin Rei regretted not making sufficient preparations for the thunder tribulation. However, what made Lin Rei even more regretful was that he did not ask the little dragon about the things to take note of during the thunder tribulation. At this moment, the thing that Lin Rei wanted to do most was to quickly recover his body. After getting up with difficulty, Lin Rei thought of something. He took out the poison pill that he had obtained on the second floor of the mysterious heaven forest. He raised his head and poured the entire bottle of poison pill into his mouth. Right now, with every movement, Lin Li felt a heart-wrenching pain. Even the slightest movement of his pinky finger would cause him unbearable pain. But for the sake of quickly recovering his body, this little bit of pain didn't matter at all. After completing this task with a grimace, he took out all kinds of medicinal pills and stuffed them all into his mouth. He didn't even look at the names of the pills and directly swallowed them. Phew! After everything was done, Lin Rei sat cross-legged and began to cultivate the chaos scripture. Lin Li, who was cultivating with his eyes closed, didn't notice that the dissipated thunderclouds had gathered again at this moment. The original purple color had turned into a blood-red color, which made the hundreds of dark section members on the ground unable to control themselves and fight with each other. Even though the thunderclouds had not formed yet, when they saw the thunderclouds, they felt a deep sense of fear in the depths of their hearts. At this moment, Lin Rei did not have the time to care about these things. What Lin Rei wanted to do most at this moment was to make the pain in his body disappear. Slowly, as time passed, 3 hours passed just like that. At this moment, a smile appeared on Lin Li's face as he trained. But at this moment, the blood-red thundercloud in the sky had already formed. Kacha! Whoosh! The moment the red thunderclouds condensed, a faint sound was heard. A strand of thunder tribulation, which was as thick as a strand of hair, rushed out of the thunderclouds and shot towards Lin Rei. Its speed was so terrifying that even the last thunder tribulation did not reach 1/5 of its speed. In an instant, the red thunder tribulation, which was as thick as a strand of hair, rushed out of the thunderclouds and appeared behind Lin Rei. It did not stop and directly drilled into Lin Rei's body. Boom! The moment the thunder tribulation drilled into Lin Rei's body, Lin Rei, who had recovered from some of the pain, felt as if he had been electrocuted. His body trembled uncontrollably and finally fainted. Chapter 249. At this moment, after being hit by the hair-like lightning tribulation, Lin Rei was paralyzed on the ground. His face was pale, blood was flowing out of the corners of his mouth, and his body was twitching constantly, as if he was having an epileptic seizure. However, the lightning tribulation in the sky did not stop because of Lin Rei's fainting. At this time, the bloody thunderclouds in the sky were still rolling, and the lightning in the thunderclouds was brewing. Boom! Kacha! Suddenly, A hair-like lightning tribulation rushed out of the thunderclouds and rushed toward Lin Rei. In an instant, another lightning tribulation struck Lin Rei's body. If others saw this, the first thought in their mind would be that this was the rhythm of King corpse being whipped. In the distance, hundreds of people of the Dark Department wanted to rush forward to help their sect master Lin Rei resist the lightning tribulation. However, to their surprise, when the second lightning tribulation condensed, their bodies became motionless, as if they had grown in the desert. They could not move except for their mouths. Even their cultivation of the Mahayana realm and their spiritual power were sealed. Hundreds of people of the Dark Department were like this, so Su Bo and Murong Yu, who were only in the Gold Core realm, were even more embarrassed. At this time, when the lightning tribulation formed, Su Bo and Murong Yu, without the protection of the people of the Dark Department, were directly knocked unconscious by the second thundercloud. Fortunately, they were not seriously injured, and temporarily entered a state of dormancy. At this moment, they could do nothing but feel anxious. Not far away, Lin Rei, who was being whipped by the lightning tribulation, did not disappear after being attacked by the first lightning tribulation. Instead, he appeared in the system. At this moment, Lin Rei was in a dark space, and his heart was full of panic as he looked around. Although he could feel that he was in the system space at this time, he sensed that he could not control them like in other system spaces. As soon as this situation appeared, Lin Rei panicked. If he knew that the system had recognized him as its master, then if he could not control any place in the system, it meant that the system had not completely recognized him as its master. If this was the case, then Lin Rei was even more panicked. If he had known that an artifact couldn't completely recognize a person as its master, then it wouldn't have been worth using it. This was because there were all kinds of dangerous factors that he didn't know about. That was why Lin Li was in such a mood right now. Ck, what the hell is going on? Why, I have clearly passed the lightning tribulation, why is it still attacking me? At this moment, not only was Lin Rei anxious for the system space, but he was also puzzled by the lightning tribulation that appeared out of nowhere. This was what puzzled him the most. Little dragon, hurry up and come out. I have a bunch of questions to ask you. Hurry up and come out. Lin Rei couldn't understand all the answers at this moment. He couldn't help but shout the little dragon's name into the system space. His voice was filled with anger and doubt, and his eyes were also filled with anger as he looked at the sky, waiting for the little dragon to appear. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes later, there was still no sign of any figure, which made Lin Rei even more anxious. Little dragon, hurry up and come out. Explain to me what exactly is going on. Once again, Lin Rei didn't see any figure or voice, so he roared into the sky again. But this time it was different. After Lin Rei roared into the system space, a figure that made Lin Rei furious appeared in the sky with a smile on his face. His hands were behind his back like a big boss. All right, stop yelling. I'm here, aren't I? Xiaolong, who was in midair, had a smile on his face as he spoke to Lin Li in a calm voice. Humph, you still have the nerve to say that. Let's not talk about the lightning tribulation first. Let's talk about this system space. Didn't you say that the system has already recognized me as its master? Why can't I control it? You have to know that if I can't control a magical artifact, I will choose to give it up. No matter what the consequences are, I will accept it. At this moment, Lin Rei saw the little dragon's expression and became ruthless. He was glad that what he wanted was the full right to use the system space and not part of it. If that was the case, he would rather not have it. Haha, don't you think you're dreaming? Before this, you have to understand that the system is not a magical device, nor is it an immortal device. Don't compare the system with those trash. Also, you have to remember that with your current strength, you can only unlock 2% of the system's usage rights. The system's strength is not something you can understand with common sense. Therefore, if you want to use it more, you have to pay a price that ordinary people can't bear, and work hard to unlock the unknown rights that can't be unlocked. Are you satisfied with my answer? At this moment, the little dragon in the sky answered Lin Rei's question unhurriedly. At the same time, he also mentioned some rules that Lin Rei didn't know before. It was at this moment that Lin Rei finally understood the strength of the system space. Alright, then let's not talk about the system space. Let's talk about the lightning tribulation. I have clearly passed through 81 lightning tribulations. Why did the 82nd lightning tribulation appear? What exactly is going on? At this moment, Lin Rei's heart was filled with indescribable doubts. He wanted to immediately voice them out, but this was the most important thing. If he had known earlier, his consciousness would have been in the system space, while his physical body outside was being whipped by the lightning tribulation. Haha, that's an even better explanation. Let me first explain the situation of your lightning tribulation to you from the beginning. Upon hearing Lin Rei's question, the little dragon walked down from the sky with a smile on his face. He only stopped when he was walking side by side with Lin Rei. First, that wasn't the 82nd lightning tribulation, but a new one. Therefore, what you experienced was a double lightning tribulation. Furthermore, each lightning tribulation was extraordinary. At this point, the smile on the little dragon's face disappeared at this moment. All that was left was a solemn and formal expression. The first lightning tribulation you experienced was the most mysterious lightning tribulation of all lightning tribulations. It was called the Purple Heaven Divine Lightning. If you were the slightest bit careless, this lightning tribulation would cause your soul to scatter and never be reincarnated. Therefore, the fact that you were able to pass through the first lightning tribulation with your current cultivation base is a miracle. Lin Rei sucked in a breath of cold air. After listening to the little dragon's description of the lightning tribulation he had just experienced, he couldn't help but feel a chill run down his spine. Then why did such a lightning tribulation appear when you took me through the lightning tribulation? Based on what you're saying, shouldn't this lightning tribulation appear? At this moment, the more Lin Rei listened, the more confused he became. He didn't know why such a lightning tribulation would appear during his lightning tribulation. Humph, you brat. You're still pretending to be innocent after receiving such a benefit. Do you know how great it would be if you were able to pass through the Purple Heaven Divine Lightning at your level? Furthermore, for such a lightning tribulation to appear at your level, it means that you've always been heaven-defying. However, the second lightning tribulation is even more impressive. It's called the God Annihilating Thunder. As the name suggests, this kind of lightning tribulation can directly annihilate a god. However, I find it strange that this kind of lightning tribulation would appear in your lightning tribulation. Furthermore, it's the second lightning tribulation of a double lightning tribulation. From the little dragon's words, it seemed that he also didn't know what was going on. After hearing this, Lin Rei didn't know what to do. Generally speaking, the little dragon was an omniscient existence in his knowledge. However, at this moment, even the little dragon didn't know what was going on. Then what should I do? My physical body is still undergoing the lightning tribulation outside, but my consciousness isn't in my body. Tell me, will this be okay? At this moment, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei began to worry about death. He comforted his physical body that was outside. He didn't want to become a lonely ghost that didn't even feel like he had a physical body. Don't worry. Your physical body will be fine. Moreover, it will only make him stronger. Perhaps, at this moment, your bloodline physique will also be activated. At this point, Lin Rei saw the look of anticipation on the little dragon's face. Moreover, Lin Rei didn't really understand the bloodline physique that the little dragon mentioned. Lin Rei knew about bloodline physique, but Lin Rei knew very little about physique. What bloodline physique? How can I have a bloodline physique? Isn't this physique passed down from the previous generation? Moreover, as far as I know, my father is an ordinary person, and my mother is also an ordinary person. Hee. After hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon smiled and said, "You don't understand. Bloodline physique isn't passed down from the previous generation. It's something that he possesses himself. Therefore, what you're talking about is only an ordinary bloodline physique." After hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei nodded as if he understood. However, Lin Rei didn't really understand. Sigh. It's obvious that you don't understand. Seeing Lin Rei nod, the little dragon couldn't help but sigh. He explained to Lin Rei again, "The God Annihilating Thunder is now activating your bloodline physique for you. Therefore, you don't have to worry. After the Thunder Tribulation, you'll be fine and your recovery will be even faster. Moreover, people with bloodline physiques are favored by the heavens and earth. Therefore, you don't have to worry. You just have to stay here for a while. After the God Annihilating Thunder passes, you can leave." "Oh, then what kind of physique do I have?" After hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei heaved a sigh of relief. The worry in his heart was finally put down. However, he felt that his physique was just like what the little dragon said. If his physique was good, then it would be even better. Your physique is the supreme physique in the entire Hongmeng. It's also known as the supreme physique of the Hongmeng. This kind of physique is naturally supreme. Moreover, people with the supreme physique of the Hongmeng are like born supreme. Even if you start out ordinary, you will definitely become a formidable person in the future. At this moment, when the little dragon mentioned the supreme physique, it was as if he was an admirer. His eyes were filled with admiration, and his face was filled with a happy smile. Looking at the little dragon's expression, Lin Rei couldn't help but feel a chill in his heart. He quickly distanced himself from the little dragon. Moreover, once the supreme physique and bloodline are activated, the color of your blood will turn from red to purple. It made people feel suffocated from the heart. Chapter 250. In the system space, the little dragon said to Lin Rei with a smile, "All right, you can go out." Even though the Grand Mist Sovereign's physique and bloodline haven't been fully activated by the god-annihilating solitary lightning, there should be a lot of benefits. As for what benefits they are, it depends on your comprehension. I can't help you with this matter. Really? When Linli heard Xiaolong's words, he jumped to his feet and questioned Xiaolong. You really don't know the uses of the Grand Mist Sovereign's physique and bloodline. Maybe you don't want to tell me. Xiaolong's words made Linli, who had been restless all this time, jump to his feet. At this moment, Lin Rei could not believe it. He had been saying that he was the system spirit in the entire Hongmeng that could predict the fate of the world and knew everything. However, at this moment, he said that he did not know. This made Lin Rei unable to believe that what the little dragon said was true. Humph. It's fine if you don't believe me. However, I want to tell you that you must not tell anyone about this matter. Even if it's your son, Jinling, or the person closest to you, they must not know about your physique. If others know about it, it will cause you unimaginable trouble. Don't blame me for not reminding you. At this moment, the little dragon was not angry at Lin Rei's words. Instead, he warned Lin Rei with a serious expression. It seemed that this matter was very serious. As for who that person is, I can't tell you, but I can only tell you that that person is someone you can't afford to offend no matter what. Together with me, none of us are good people. So, you should obediently do your own things in the future. If there's nothing important, don't blindly join in the fun. If there's something important, you have to quickly learn your skills in the future. I don't want you to die so soon. If you were to be exposed like this, I can't afford to lose my old face. Yes, that person? Lin Rei wasn't annoyed by the little dragon's scolding. It was just that Lin Rei had heard the little dragon mention that person's name twice in the past few days. For a moment, his curiosity was piqued by the little dragon. What made Lin Rei incredulous was that the little dragon actually said that he was nothing in front of that person. This was something that the little dragon had never said before. This made Lin Rei even more suspicious. He didn't know who that person was. Even if he asked the little dragon, Lin Rei believed that he would never tell him. Therefore, Lin Rei didn't go forward to ask. Instead, he waited for the little dragon to tell him. All right, I'll go out first. I'll remember your words. After I'm done with my business in the next few days, I plan to go to the cultivation planet to cultivate. Therefore, the previous agreement of 10 years shouldn't be needed anymore. After saying that, Lin Rei didn't wait for the little dragon's reply. However, if the system was here, it would definitely recognize the middle-aged man sitting on the throne. He was the person that the little dragon had mentioned twice. Humph, I Shang, as the master of Hongmeng's laws, don't believe that I can't find the Hongmeng Supreme Constitution with my strength. Just you wait. When I find the person you're cultivating, I'll let you know that you want to break the seal on Hongmeng and let all the other masters of Hongmeng kill me. Dream on. Shang was the master of the laws of the Hongmeng era, and at the same time, he was the reason why the Hongmeng era was sealed. Back then, when Shang wanted to dominate the entire Hongmeng era and create his own dynasty, the other masters found out and worked together to seal the Hongmeng era. However, as a price, they had to be used as the eye of the formation to suppress the master of the laws. The only way to break the seal on Hongmeng was to find the Hongmeng Supreme Constitution and bloodline and use their bloodline and body as a sacrifice to remove the seal. This was why the system and the Master of the Laws wanted to obtain Lin Ray. However, their goals were different. The system wanted to destroy the Master of the Laws, while the Master of the Laws wanted to use Lin Ray's constitution and bloodline to build his own era and destroy the other Masters of the Laws. So, two people who looked exactly like the middle-aged man appeared below. Judging from their auras, there was no difference between the two. The only difference was that the demonic man sitting on the throne was much more imposing and dignified than the middle-aged man below. Go, tell the leader of the Xueqi sect in the Holy World to send a message to the Xueqi sect in the immortal, and cultivation realms. Tell them to find someone with purple blood and capture him. Remember, regardless of life or death, you just need to hold on to his body and bloodline for a few days. Remember, look for him in all realms and find him as soon as possible. At that moment, the Law Master Shang, who was sitting on his seat, said to the people below him, I understand. Don't worry. I'll tell them what you want. However, it'll be difficult to find him. You know that every realm is extremely vast. Even you, a Master of the Laws in Hongmeng, can't say that you've traveled through all of them, let alone those ants. So if you want to find someone with the supreme physique and bloodline of Hongmeng, you'll have to wait for a while. That's fine. I've already waited for so long. Why would I care about a little more time? Alright, you can go now. After traveling for so long, my will is weakening. Although the rulers of the realms aren't my match, their formations are still very harmful to me. So, I'll have to sleep every once in a while. So, you don't have to come back for the time being. Just stay in the Holy World and wait for news from all realms. Alright, I got it. The Law Master's clone below nodded in agreement. As for his original body, he fell asleep again the moment he finished talking to him. Ming's clone did not disturb him when he saw this. He directly passed through the barrier of space and made his way to the Saint's world. He went to the cosmic sect in the Saint's world to express his will to live as a Law Master. If the little dragon in the system knew about this, he wouldn't be surprised. This was because the little dragon had already guessed this would happen. So, he was most worried about Lin Ray now. In the middle of the Sahara Desert on planet Aqua Blue, Lin Ray sat in a huge pit with his eyes closed, enjoying the thrill of breaking through. Haha, I've finally broken through to the Mahayana realm. However, I didn't expect to break through to the peak of the Mahayana realm. What surprised me even more was that my physical body, which hadn't broken through for so long, broke through at this moment. It even broke through to the level of a low-grade immortal weapon. Teske, how good would it be if I could do this again? Phew. After letting out a long breath, Lin Ray immediately absorbed the surrounding pressure into his body. Slowly, Lin Ray opened his eyes. In an instant, a purple light flashed and didn't linger for long. Crack, crack, crack. Lin Ray slowly stood up. Suddenly, the sound of bones cracking could be heard. It was a very terrifying sound. Chapter 251. Awesome, awesome. At this moment, Lin Ray's expression was completely replaced by excitement. He was like a child, very cute. Phew! This is awesome. All the discomfort and injuries I received during the heavenly tribulation have been healed. At this moment, when he came back to his senses and calmed down, he looked down. At this moment, he no longer looked like a human or a ghost. At this moment, his skin was many times better than that of a normal newborn child. His skin was like white jade, and his bones were like crystal, without any impurities. Moreover, his white hair, which had been causing him headaches, was completely healed at this moment. However, what made Lin Ray a little unhappy was that his white hair was gone. At this moment, his hair was faintly discernible purple, which was even more demonic than the white hair from before. Alas! Forget it. It doesn't matter anyway. It's much better than white. After saying that, Lin Ray did not pay attention to the other changes on his body. At this moment, what he was most nervous about was that he was not wearing a single piece of clothing, not even a piece of underwear. He was naked in the huge pit. F***CK, F***CK, Heavenly Thunder of Purple Cloud, you can't be serious. I won't say anything if you destroyed my set of celestial artifacts, but can you be more shameless? Why did you destroy my underwear? As he complained about the Heavenly Thunder of Purple Cloud, he thought of something and took out a set of clothes from the ring. Then he put them on quickly and quickly. Lin Rei, who was neatly dressed, was relieved at this moment. Before world weariness, he would not have the face to stand naked like this. If he had known that there were satellites from various countries in outer space, Lin Rei's every move here could be detected by them. He did not want to be naked in front of the leaders of various countries. If that was the case, he would rather die. Lin Rei, who was about to leave, turned his head and saw the Emu 10,000 Laws sword, which was stuck in the ground not far away, emitting a faint glimmer. Haha, I didn't expect you to survive the heavenly thunder of Purple Heaven. That's great. Previously, when it collided with the last heavenly thunder of Purple Heaven, all the immortal weapons were shattered. Lin Li thought that the Emu 10,000 art sword would not be spared. But now, it seemed that this was not the case at all. At this moment, the Emu 10,000 art sword was in good condition, without any damage on the ground. Moreover, it seemed to be even stronger than before. This made Lin Rei a little surprised. He knew that the Emu 10,000 magical sword was an item without a grade. Since it could withstand the attack of the heavenly tribulation without shattering, one could imagine how strong it was. Old man, it's good that it's not broken. We can continue to fight side by side in the future. With that, Lin Rei grabbed the hilt of the Emu 10,000 Laws sword and pulled it out of the ground. As expected, after being baptized by the heavenly thunder of Purple Heaven, you are indeed different. You are actually many times stronger than before. At this moment, Lin Rei did not have time to appreciate the changes of the Emu 10,000 Laws sword. He looked at it and directly put it away. Ding dong! Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the Mahayana realm. The reward is 50 kilograms of purple gold divine iron and a book of lightning changes footwork, royal level cultivation method. When practiced to the peak, the host can cross a continent in the immortal realm. Ding dong! Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the middle stage of the Mahayana realm. The reward is a middle-grade fairy weapon set, carefree, and a formation, royal level formation book. When practiced to the Mahayana realm, the host can set up a formation around the general trend. Ding dong! Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the late stage of the Mahayana realm. The reward is the Heaven and Earth Bell, a top-grade fairy weapon, a rare spatial magic treasure. The most difficult thing is that the time inside is different from the time outside. It can adjust the time according to the host's cultivation. If the host is now at the peak of the Mahayana realm, it can adjust the time in 1001. 100 days inside the Heaven and Earth Bell is 1 day outside. Damn, this is going to defy the heavens. With the Heaven and Earth Bell, I can do whatever I want in the future. Just when Lin Rei was about to go out and meet with Su Bo and the others, the system's rewards for breaking through suddenly arrived, and each reward was more powerful than the previous one. Especially after hearing about the magical effects of the Heaven and Earth Bell, Lin Rei's heart, which had just been silent, was reignited at this moment. However, looking at the situation, it seemed that it was not over yet, and there seemed to be more to come. Thinking about it, the system's voice came again. Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the peak of the Mahayana realm. The reward is the Heaven Temple, a high-grade fairy weapon, which can be used in the main hall of the sect. The style is simple and elegant, and it is a powerful celestial device that can be used to attack and defend. Ding dong! Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the low-grade fairy weapon. The reward is the Tyrant Body Technique, a royal-level physical training method. When practiced to the peak, the host can form a golden body, which is unstoppable. A dazzling array of treasures appeared in Lin Rei's storage ring, and Lin Rei's heart could not help but want to rush in and see the use of these things. However, before Lin Rei could think of anything, a light screen appeared in front of him, and all his information was on it. Name, Lin Rei. Age, 24. Cultivation, peak of the Mahayana realm. Experience, 3 billion/3. 6 billion, spiritual roots, thunder, fire, wood, gold, 4 chaos spiritual roots. Talent, peak of the earthly celestial realm. Cultivation method, first stage of the chaos scripture, incomplete. Devouring heaven method, growable. Hongmeng elixir refining, entry-level cultivation method. Cloud formula, royal level cultivation method. Formation, royal level cultivation method. Tyrant body technique, royal level. Cultivation method, martial skills. Butterfly steps, entry level. Starfinger, proficient. Silent thunder spear art, high level profound martial skill. Now practice to the entry level, can produce 3 thunderbolts, Myriad Sword Art, Heavenly Level. Level 3 Incineration, Royal Level. Dragon Subduing Step, Royal Level. Shura Spear Art, King Level. Shura Sword Formation, King Level. Divine Changes, Royal Level. Spiritual Treasures. Martial Emperor Godly Spear. High Level Spiritual Chi. Growable, Myriad Magic Sword, Gradeless. Myriad Beasts Furnace, Heaven and Earth Bell, Supreme Grade Celestial Artifact. Heavenly Temple, Upper Grade Celestial Artifact, Equipment. Cloud Stepping Boots, Supreme Grade Spiritual Artifact. Purple Cloud Robe, Supreme Grade Spiritual Artifact. Purple Cloud Inner Armor, Supreme Grade Spiritual Artifact. Purple Jade Crown, Supreme Grade Celestial Artifact. Purple Jade Wood King Hairpin, Supreme Grade Celestial Artifact. Middle Grade Celestial Artifact. Set Carefree. Mount, Red Flame Tiger, Advanced Stage of Crossing Calamity. Lucky Draw Wheel. 2 War General Draw System. The War General Draw opportunity has been used up, and this system has been permanently sealed. Reputation Points. 130,000 Exchange Points. 0 Spiritual Stones. 0 Earth Level Alchemist. 36850500000. Top Level Spiritual Medicine, Heavenly Materials and Earthly Treasures. 50 kilograms of Purple Gold Nephrite. 50 kilograms of Purple Gold Sand. 50 kilograms of Purple Gold Divine Iron. Subsidiary Task. Within 300 years, reach the cultivation level that the system thinks of. If you can't complete it, the system has the right to kill you directly. When your strength has increased again, rescue the suppressed Pai Xiao. Elixir Pills. 11 Mind Control Pills. 8,000 Mind Control Pills. Hee not bad. I didn't expect that I would have so much wealth. TSK, not bad. At this moment, Lin Rei couldn't help but nod his head after reading all his information. However, he immediately softened. Sigh. There are still tens of thousands of disciples to support. Now, this little bit of wealth is not enough for 10,000 people. It seems that I have to work harder in the future. Otherwise, the sect will collapse. Chapter 252. After learning about his current level, information, and all his assets, Lin Rei walked out of the huge pit with a worried expression. Thinking about how he still had tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, or even millions of people to support, Lin Li hurriedly mustered up all his energy and began to put his life on the line. Since I've chosen this path and chosen to establish the Jiutian Trading Company, I shouldn't give up. Now it's just a small number of people. Maybe there will be millions of people to support in the future. The only thing I can do for them is to give them a good environment to grow up in. Then I'll throw them out and let them transfer money to me. Then I'll support others. I'm so smart. At this time, if everyone in the Jiutian Xuanzong sect knew his thoughts and saw his face, they would think of a word that was especially suitable for Lin Rei, profiteer. After thinking of a solution, he regained his usual calmness and strolled toward the dark group. Although it was difficult to walk, it was still a distance of 100 feet per step. Soon, Lin Rei arrived in front of the dark group. However, the members of the dark group were still under the pressure of the God-destroying Lone Thunder. Although the God-destroying Lone Thunder had disappeared, the remaining pressure was still able to do this. Seeing this, Lin Rei smiled slightly, and then waved his right hand forward with spiritual power. Suddenly, the pressure of the God-destroying thunder that enveloped the hundreds of people was dispelled by Lin Rei's spiritual power. Dong dong. The moment the pressure disappeared, the hundreds of dark group members who regained their freedom knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Lin Rei. We are the disciples of the Xuanzong sect. Thank you, sect leader, for releasing us. Congratulations on breaking through to the Mahayana stage. At this moment, the hundreds of dark group members looked at Lin Rei with gratitude and excitement. Their voices shook the world and resounded through the sky. As for Su Bo and Murong Yu, who had already regained their freedom, when the two of them saw the hundreds of members of the dark unit kneeling on the ground and kowtowing to their second brother, and even calling out the two words sect master from their mouths, it seemed that the current Lin Li was like an immortal that had descended from the 9 heavens, incomparably divine. We're not in the cultivation world now. This is the mortal world. Therefore, all the rules that can be waived should be waived as much as possible. When you're in the cultivation world, you can do the sect's etiquette. There's no need for that here. Looking at the disciples kneeling on the ground, Lin Rei felt a little gratified. But more importantly, Lin Rei had completely regarded them as his brothers. Therefore, Lin Rei didn't care about these complicated formalities. No. Sect leader. You gave us a second chance at life. If it wasn't for you, perhaps we would be in the profound sky continent now, or perhaps we would still be a group of children begging for food on the streets. Therefore, no matter when or where we are, we will always be like this to Sect leader. Because this is our respect for Sect leader. After listening to their words, Lin Rei knew that no matter what he said, they wouldn't listen to him. Therefore, Lin Rei didn't need to say anything more. Okay, all of you get up. I've made a breakthrough. Therefore, during this period of time, all of you can go to my new magic treasure to practice. I believe that in there, you will be able to consolidate your unstable foundation even faster. Ah, really? At this moment, hearing Lin Rei's words, the members of the dark group were all excited. Because they knew that their sect leader's magic treasure was very powerful. Their cultivation alone was enough to express everything. Yes, but remember, don't try to break through the earthly immortal realm. There is no spiritual chi here. Therefore, even if you break through to the earthly immortal realm, you will only be in the earthly immortal realm like the earthly immortals we met before. Do you understand? At this moment, Lin Rei had to warn them. If they really broke through to the earthly immortal realm and became earthly immortals like the 5 ancestors, Lin Rei would rather they were in the ordinary Mahayana realm. Hearing Lin Rei's words, all the members of the dark group hurriedly bowed and nodded to Lin Rei. Yes, sect leader. Don't worry. Alright, you guys stay inside and consolidate your cultivation. It's best if you start cultivating from body tempering, layer by layer. This way, your spiritual energy will be even purer and your strength will increase even more. Finally, after reminding them, he recited a paragraph. After obtaining the bell of heaven and earth, it went deep into his mind to open the bell of heaven and earth. Suddenly, a divine sense enveloped all the members of the dark group. In the next moment, hundreds of members of the dark group disappeared in front of him. When they reappeared, they were already in the bell of heaven and earth. Alright, you guys can stay here and cultivate. According to what I said before, you should start cultivating from the body forging realm, level by level. I have adjusted the time here for you. 100 days here is only 1 day outside. So, don't worry about it. In the bell of heaven and earth, Lin Rei looked at all the members of the dark group who had entered into cultivation and said to them. Then, his divine sense returned to his body. At this moment, Lin Rei, who had returned to his body, opened his eyes, exhaled, and muttered to himself, "Phew! It's finally done." At this moment, Lin Li didn't notice at all that Su Bo and Murong Yu had already seen what was going on. It was as if Lin Li had performed a magic trick, causing those hundreds of people who had been talking and laughing just a moment ago to disappear in front of their eyes. This was something that the two of them had never seen before. Thus, Lin Li sympathized with their shock and astonishment. How is it? This opportunity should be of great significance to you, right? Lin Rei, who came back to his senses, asked Su Bo and Murong Yu, who were staring at him with their mouths agape. Hey, what are you two doing? Although I know that I'm very handsome, I feel embarrassed when you look at me like this. Seeing their appearance, Lin Rei directly said a joke. Suddenly, the two of them came back to their senses and pretended to be disgusted, bending over and vomiting. Ugh. I say, second brother. Can you do it or not? You're making me think that you're gay. Su Bo, who was vomiting, looked at Lin Rei, who had a smug smile on his face, and couldn't help but say, "Yes, that's what I thought too. I didn't expect second brother to be so." The words of the two immediately made Lin Rei's head full of black lines. What do you mean by seen gay? Damn it, the words of the two of you really make me want to give the two of you a hammer each. At this time, Lin Rei was also disgusted by Su Bo and Murong Yu, but he did not think that the two of them would be so exaggerated. Okay, stop pretending. Stand up. I still have something to discuss with you. At this moment, Lin Rei said to them with a serious face, as if what he was going to say next was very important to them. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the two of them nodded sadly and stood up. They looked at Lin Rei face to face, and the grievance on their faces also disappeared at this moment. Okay, what I'm going to say next may be what I mean, and you may not agree with it. Of course, this is only a discussion with you. So, Whether you want to hear it or not depends on your own wishes. Ah! Suddenly, Lin Rei's words directly stunned the two of them. What is it? Second brother, hurry up and say it. I'm dying of impatience. At this time, listening to their second brother speak halfway was a huge torture for them. Haha, it seems that you can't wait to hear what I'm going to say. Looking at their impatience, Lin Rei said with a smile. You have a brief understanding of my strength just now. Of course, you don't know how long it took me to cultivate to this level. What? At this moment, the two of them looked at Lin Rei with puzzlement. Although they wanted to know how their second brother, who had no cultivation before, became so powerful in just a few years and was able to fight against 5 earthly immortals, they also knew that the more they knew, the more dangerous it would be for them. So, at this time, the two of them were puzzled as to why Lin Rei was telling them this now. It took me 11 years, but in this world's time, it took me 3 years. Compared to you, you are also very confused. As for the specific things that happened in these years, you don't need to know. What I want to tell you now is, do you want to have the same strength as me, or even stronger to be strong enough to open such a space? This heavy question directly smashed into their heads. For a moment, their minds went blank. They didn't know what to say. At this moment, Su Bo's brain short-circuited. Perhaps for you, the Mahayana realm is already enough for you, but I want to tell you that the Mahayana realm is just the beginning of cultivation. Although the lifespan of the Mahayana realm is tens of thousands of years or even hundreds of thousands of years, don't you want to see the higher realms? See if there is only the devil's space other than this space, see how vast they are, see their majestic world? While Su Bo and the other man's brains were short-circuiting, Linley didn't stop trying to dissuade them. Seeing the way Su Bo and the other man were acting, Linley thought that they weren't willing, so he began to say all sorts of nice things. As for the dangerous things, Linley didn't say them. After a long time, they were still staring blankly ahead. No one knew what they were thinking in their minds. Seeing this, Linley's face revealed a look of disappointment. Alas! It seems that I'm too anxious. Perhaps I don't have much time in this space. It's been hard on you. Chapter 253. Lin Rei thought that they didn't want to follow him when he saw that they didn't have any expression or action after he finished speaking. Lin Rei was very disappointed, but after all, this was their choice. Lin Rei couldn't influence them. Therefore, the only thing he could do was to improve their cultivation. However, Lin Rei didn't know that the amount of information he said was too much. Therefore, for the two of them who lived in the mortal world, this was an earth-shattering event. They had to take their time to sort out the information. Lin Rei turned around with a disappointed expression and was about to leave when suddenly, a scream came from behind him. Instantly, Lin Rei, who was caught off guard, was startled. Ah! Really? He turned around. At this time, the expressions of the two of them were completely different from before. Their eyes were empty and without any spirit. Right now, the eyes of the two were shining, and the look of shock and excitement on their faces was enough to drown Linley out. At this time, Lin Rei realized that they were shocked by the information he said. Second brother, was what you said just now true? Did you really use only 3 years to cultivate to this level? Also, did you just say that you want to go to a higher cultivation world than us? That's right. Furthermore, can we also head to a higher plane? At this time, the two of them were incoherent and scrambling to ask questions. For a moment, Lin Rei smiled foolishly and didn't know whose question he should answer first. Yes. Yes, I do want to take you and the two of you away from here. However, as for whether you agree or not, it's up to you. I just want to say that I will only take the two of you. As for your parents, I won't take them. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't want them to misunderstand, so he said this in advance. This way they could avoid their previous relationship. Sure enough, after Lin Rei finished speaking, the two of them who were originally excited instantly fell silent. Lin Rei knew that they had lived with their parents for a long time. If he wanted them to suddenly leave now, they wouldn't be willing. I know it's difficult for you, but you have to know that you can come back and pick them up yourself. With just one sentence, they immediately returned to their previous state of excitement. We can come back and pick them up ourselves, but how do we come back? We don't know about this. Ha! Linley smiled and said to them, once you're strong enough, You can even go to other places by yourself, let alone here. So if you're willing, once you're strong enough, you can come back here to pick up your parents and go to a higher plane to recuperate. Also, in a few hundred years, I'll come back again. At that time, you can also choose to come back with me, or even come back early on your own. That's fine too. After Lin Rei finished speaking, they fell silent. After a long time, when they raised their heads again, the hesitation in their eyes had disappeared. At this moment, there was nothing but determination in their eyes. Okay, second brother, I will go with you. I want to become strong. When the time comes, I will bring my parents over and let them live forever. To Lin Rei's surprise, the first to speak was not Su Bo, but Murong Yu, who had been silent all this time, spoke. I promise you that I will help you break through to a higher realm as soon as possible so that you can meet your family as soon as possible. However, before that, I have to tell you that the cultivation world is not like here. Over there, killing and robbing are as common as eating a meal. There are no police officers who kill people, only people with strength. The weak are prey to the strong, and strength is respected. As long as you have strength, they will respect you. But if you don't have strength, even if they kill you, you won't have more people to help you. Just like an ant, no one will know even if you die. At this moment, seeing that they had agreed, Lin Rei told them about the dangers of the cultivation world. He didn't want to lie to them. I know, second brother. Since I have chosen to go, I have already prepared to die. So, you don't need to say any more. I, Murong Yu, will definitely go to the cultivation world. Moreover, not only will I go, I will also create a career and a reputation. I will let my descendants become my shadow and live for generations. After a series of ambitious words came out of Murong Yu's mouth, Lin Rei no longer felt that his fourth brother was the weak person who only knew how to come up with plans. Okay, since it's like this, let's go. After I find my mother, I will go to another cultivation planet. You guys should be prepared at any time, and you are only allowed to tell your parents about this matter. As for the others, it's best if they don't know about it, and this matter is only limited to your parents. As for the others, if one knows, I will kill one, if two know, I will kill two, and I will not care if they are your clansmen or not, do you understand? At this moment, Lin Rei was no longer the gentle and refined person from before. The current Lin Rei was filled with killing intent. This killing intent rushed straight at them, causing them to feel as if they were about to suffocate. We understand. Don't worry, I will only tell our parents about this matter. The others won't not know about it. Similarly, I won't let our parents tell anyone else. After hearing Lin Rei's words, the two of them hurriedly stretched out their left hands and swore to the heavens and earth. All right, don't be so serious. It's fine as long as you know. Seeing their appearance, Lin Rei was afraid that his appearance just now would scare them, so he quickly revealed a smile and said to them, Ugh! Immediately, seeing Lin Rei's expression, the two of them were speechless for a moment. All right, let's go. It's time for me to pay the Ouyang family a visit. After saying that, Lin Rei directly released his spiritual energy and enveloped the two of them. Then, he flew in the direction of Yanjing. His speed was so fast that he disappeared into the Sahara Desert in an instant. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Suddenly, not long after Lin Rei left, the sound of something breaking through the air was heard. In the blink of an eye, a group of people appeared at the place where Lin Rei was transcending his tribulation. Among this group of people, there were people from all countries, including Huaxia, Country R, and so on. People from many countries were standing at the place where Lin Rei was transcending his tribulation, staring blankly at the huge pit in front of them. At this moment, other than fear in their hearts, there were no words that could express it. Hiss! A cold breath came from everyone's mouth. Their expressions were very funny, and everyone's expression was very ugly. What's going on? Who is this person? Why is he transcending his tribulation here? And judging from the surrounding aftermath, this lightning tribulation is very powerful. It's so powerful that every lightning tribulation can destroy one of us. Yeah. Who is this person? Who is this person? Who has such great power to cause such a lightning tribulation to appear during a tribulation? The group of people, after seeing the giant crater in which Linley had undergone his tribulation and the surrounding shockwaves, began to discuss it amongst themselves. Everyone had their own ulterior motives, and they used words to test each other. At this time, the people from Huaxia were at the side, discussing with a serious expression. I hope that the person transcending his tribulation is not from another country, but someone from Huaxia. Otherwise, it's worrying. At this time, they looked at each other with fear in their eyes. After confirming with their eyes, they did not stay any longer and flew directly to the capital of Huaxia. After the people from Huaxia left, slowly, the people from other countries also left. Not long after, this bustling place became very quiet at this moment. Apart from the huge pit created by Lin Rei's tribulation, the desert returned to its usual tranquility. Chapter 254. After the tribulation, Lin Rei, who rushed back to Beijing without stopping, didn't know that after his group left, such a thing that was completely out of his imagination would happen. But even if he knew, Lin Rei wouldn't have any expression, because these people had nothing to do with him. Lin Rei, on the other hand, brought Su Bo and Murong Yu. Under the constant rush, they still stepped on the soil of Beijing. Hee, all right, we've already returned to Beijing. You guys should go back too. I'm sure your families must be anxious to let me take you away for so long. When there's time, I'll personally come and apologize. At this moment, the simultaneous breakthrough in both his physical body and cultivation base gave Linley a sense of exhilaration. Looking at the looks on his brothers' faces, Linley couldn't help but tease them. A warm smile spread across his face. If someone who had a deep grudge with Lin Rei, or someone who had already died, saw Lin Rei's smile, they would definitely think that their eyes had an illusion. Because, in their knowledge, other than a disdainful smile, they had never seen Lin Rei reveal such a sincere and relaxed smile. Don't be so polite. In any case, we're still good brothers. Even if your cultivation is strong now, this fact can't be changed. So, don't say such things in the future. At this moment, when Murong Yu and Su Bo heard Lin Rei's words, for a moment, their faces were filled with helpless expressions. They looked at Lin Rei and spoke unhurriedly. Similarly, when they spoke, the sincerity on their faces, as if they were treating him as a brother, entered their eyes. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei smiled. That's right, second brother, don't be so polite. We're brothers for a moment, and we'll be brothers for life. This matter can't be changed. As for these words, don't say them in the future. Besides, if my parents knew that I had a brother like you, they would definitely be happy for me. Hearing Su Bo and Murong Yu's words, Lin Rei didn't say anything else. At this moment, he was very anxious in his heart. He had already been out for so long, and he hadn't told Jean Ling. Therefore, Lin Rei was in a hurry to go back and explain to Jean Ling. All right, since that's the case, I won't say any more. However, when you go back, you must take a look at your family and see if my mother is there. If she isn't, give me a call. If she isn't, let me go to another family. Before he left, Lin Rei didn't forget to tell them about his mother. Got it. When we go later, we'll go take a look at the family situation and see if the family has captured Auntie. If they do, second brother, don't worry, I won't let them off. After the two of them swore to Lin Rei, they turned around and left. As for Lin Rei, he looked at their backs until they disappeared. Only then did he fly towards his own villa in the Heavenly Bay Garden. Along the way, Lin Rei had been using a small invisibility spell to support himself. Therefore, even if Lin Rei appeared in the crowd, no one would be able to see Lin Rei. At this moment, in one of the villas in Yanjing Tianwan Garden, a woman was anxiously pacing back and forth at the door. She looked like she had a lot on her mind. Her eyebrows were knitted together, and her face was pale. Anyone who saw her could not help but have the urge to go forward and comfort her. Mother, don't worry. Father is so strong. Only he can bully others. Others are like ants in his eyes. Moreover, you've been here for so long. Although you don't need to eat now, it's better to eat less. Suddenly, a young boy with a tender voice and a jade-like face walked out of the villa. When he saw his mother waiting for his father who had been gone for a long time, he couldn't help but feel pain in his heart. His eyes couldn't help but moisten. Sigh. It's okay. I'm just worried. Before you were born, your father went hunting in the mountains, and I was responsible for waiting for your father at home. Every time your father went out, he was fine, but every time he came back, his body would always be a little sore. After so many years, it can't be changed anymore. The woman who was waiting in the courtyard was Lin Rei's wife, Jean Ling, and the child who spoke was Lin Rei's son, Jean En. After Lin Rei left and didn't come back that night, Jean Ling unconsciously came to the door and waited for Lin Rei's return. This had become Jean Ling's habit. It had been deeply engraved in Jean Ling's bone marrow, and it had become one with her body. But father hasn't come back yet. Maybe father is busy and forgot. Are you going to stand here until he comes back? At this moment, Jean En was obviously anxious when he saw Jean Ling's appearance. When he spoke, he no longer used a calm tone. Instead, he directly shouted. His smiling face was red, and he looked very cute. At this moment before they spoke, Lin Rei had already arrived at the periphery of the villa. However, when Lin Rei saw his own aura and how tired he was from waiting for him, his heart ached. Just as he was about to come forward to show his concern, he heard his son's words. For a moment, Lin Rei's arrogant head lowered at this moment, and his eyes were wet. With a face full of guilt, he looked at Jean Ling, who was not far away, with a haggard face and waiting for his return. The words that Lin Li wanted to say were choked up at this moment, and he could not say it even if he wanted to. Sigh. It seems that I still haven't taken good care of you. You were originally an innocent and brilliant little girl. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't be like this. Lin Rei looked at them and felt deeply guilty, but there was nothing he could do. According to the current situation, he was now on the rise in his career. It was inevitable that he would not be able to take good care of himself. After removing the invisibility spell on his body, Lin Rei's true body appeared in front of everyone. Step by step, he slowly walked towards the door. In the past, he didn't need to walk. In an instant, Lin Rei would be able to reach it. But now, Lin Rei seemed to have a path to heaven, and the more he walked, the longer he seemed to be walking. Gotcha! After an unknown amount of time, Lin Rei finally arrived at the door. He reached out and pushed the heavy door. Walking with legs that seemed to be filled with lead, he walked towards the place where his wife and son were. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Lin Li walked faster and faster. After he was in the villa, Lin Li rushed in front of Jean Ling and hugged her in his arms. Jean Ling's heart is beating faster and faster. I'm sorry. I've made you suffer with me all these years. At this moment, the tears in Lin Rei's eyes couldn't stop flowing down. He looked at Jean Ling in his arms with guilt in his eyes and said, as the saying goes, a man doesn't cry easily. It's just that he hasn't been hurt. At this moment, Lin Rei had become a tearful man. His tears couldn't stop flowing at all. The guilt in his heart was getting deeper and deeper. He didn't know what to do now, but he knew that in the coming days, he had to protect her well and not let her suffer the slightest bit of harm. Hubby you. The sudden situation scared Jean Ling and her son who were talking. At the same time, they were also shocked by Lin Rei. They didn't know why Lin Rei would say such a thing. Moreover, Lin Rei was crying. This was the first time they had seen Lin Rei cry. The atmosphere was brought up by Lin Li, and the air was filled with a heavy and sorrowful aura. This caused Jean Ling and Jean En to unknowingly cry with Lin Li as well. And the 100 secret department disciples who had been hiding in the surroundings all cried when they saw their leader. This was the most unbelievable thing for them. They had seen Lin Rei when he was injured, Lin Rei when he was angry, and even Lin Rei when he was slaughtering. However, this was the first time they had seen him cry. They just watched Lin Rei's family cry here. It lasted for a few minutes. After more than 10 minutes, they finally stopped. Okay, let's go in and talk. Lin Rei, who had stopped crying, carried Jean Ling in his arms and then walked into the room with Jean En. Looking at this scene from behind, it looked very harmonious, and a very warm feeling arose spontaneously. In the hall of the villa, after Lin Rei placed Jean Ling on the sofa, he sat down beside her. However, his hand never left Jean Ling's body. His left hand was holding Jean Ling's waist, unwilling to let go. Ling, this time, I went out suddenly. I didn't have time to tell you, and I didn't tell you when I would come back. There will be a lot of things like this in the future. So, don't stand at the door and wait foolishly in the future, understand? Chapter 255. The family of three chatted and laughed during the meal. The meal was quickly finished. As soon as Lin Rei finished eating, he put down his chopsticks and walked back to his room with his tired body. Jean Ling and Jean En, who were sitting at the dining table, looked at Lin Rei's tired back. Their hearts skipped a beat, and their breathing became rapid. Jean Ling knew that her husband was tired, so she didn't stop Lin Rei. Instead, she let him go. Jean En, on the other hand, went back to his room after the meal under Jean En's urging. After cleaning up the bowls and chopsticks, she went back to her room. She saw her husband lying on the bed, snoring and looking exhausted. Sigh. Hubby, if that damned Kuan fish hadn't appeared back then, maybe you wouldn't have ended up like this. Maybe our family of three would still be in the deepest part of the sea of innocence, or maybe we'd still be living a carefree life. At that moment, Jean Ling's face was full of regret and heartache. She sat beside Lin Rei and reached out a hand to touch Lin Rei's face. Her eyes were full of heartache and nostalgia. But I know that this kind of life might not be possible for the current you. I know that you want to cultivate to the peak of Tao, or even surpass Tao. So, hubby, don't worry about it and do what you want to do. I won't hold you back. I will make myself stronger. That way, I will be able to stay by your side and help you. As she said that, the corners of Jean Ling's mouth curled up slightly, revealing a sweet smile. Her body slowly leaned towards Lin Rei and lay on Lin Rei's body. She closed her eyes and fell asleep. Some families were happy, while others were sad. The news of Lin Rei's return was received by the other families the moment Su Bo and Murong Yu returned to the Dao family. They all gathered at the Su family's residence. Right now, Yanjing was in chaos. Ordinary people were still living their lives as ordinary people. Cultivators, on the other hand, were not in the mood to sleep or cultivate because they were about to face the prelude of death. Lights flickered on the bustling streets. In this extravagant city, it was quiet at this moment. It was so quiet that it made people feel afraid. At this moment, in the deepest part of the Su family's villa, the lights were brightly lit, and chaotic sounds came from the villa. At this moment, Su Bo and Murong Yu, who had just returned, were standing in front of the 5 great ancestors and some of the current patriarchs of the families, not daring to raise their heads. Are you saying that your brother, Lin Rei, brought you to the Sahara Desert to undergo tribulation? And it's a double tribulation? At this moment, Long Feng, who was sitting on the sofa, couldn't hold back when he heard that Su Bo and Murong Yu had brought back the news of Lin Rei. He jumped up in excitement, his eyes filled with disbelief as he asked Murong Yu. Long Feng's appearance was very comical. At this moment, it was impossible to tell that he was a cultivator over 1,000 years old. Instead, he looked like a young man in his 20s or 30s. As for Su Chu and the others, they were even more shocked than Long Feng. This was because they really didn't want to believe that a person could undergo 2 lightning tribulations. This was because, in their knowledge, this had never happened before. However, the facts proved that it was hard for them not to believe. They really didn't want to believe that this was true. However, since it came from the mouth of their own descendants, Long Feng and the other old ancestors had no choice but to believe the accuracy of this matter. Yes, old ancestors, you don't have to doubt it because when we saw this situation, the 2 of us also found it hard to believe. However, this is the truth. After second brother finished the first lightning tribulation, we all thought that it was over. However, the moment the first lightning tribulation ended, a blood-like thundercloud suddenly appeared. Moreover, at that time, the hundreds of Mahayana realm experts around us were suppressed by the pressure of the second lightning tribulation. The 2 of us were directly suppressed to the ground. At this moment, when Mu Rongming spoke, the scene at that time couldn't help but appear in his mind. For a moment, his body trembled uncontrollably. His voice trembled as he spoke, as if he was afraid of recalling this memory. Yes, C is right. If you were there at that time, you would definitely believe what we said. TSK, I didn't expect my brother to be so awesome. Moreover, second brother is even the leader of a sect. If in the future... Suddenly, when Su Bo was so pleased with himself that he spat out his mouth, Murong Yu, who was at the side, hurriedly tugged at Su Bo. For a moment, Su Bo, who seemed to have realized something, stopped abruptly halfway through his words. When Su Bo came back to his senses, the cold sweat on his forehead inadvertently overflowed from his head. His eyes were filled with fear as he looked around. He didn't want those old fellows to see him and hoped that they would realize something that they shouldn't know. However, at this moment, Su Bo might really be overthinking. When those old guys knew that Lin Rei was so strong, they were already scared out of their wits. Therefore, those old guys didn't see his words and actions at all. Phew, fortunately, they didn't know and didn't see. Otherwise, if they knew and left this place to cultivate on another planet, second brother would definitely do as he said. For a moment, Su Bo couldn't help but pat his forehead in fear. His relaxed nerves tensed up at this moment. Sigh. It's over. My Long family is finished this time? At this moment, when everyone was sighing at Lin Rei's strength, Long Feng, who was next to him, said to the other old guys with a bitter smile. His eyes were filled with fear. In an instant, Long Feng's actions attracted the attention of those old guys. What's going on? Everyone was puzzled. They didn't understand what Long Feng meant by this sentence. Together, what did he mean by I'm finished? My Long family is finished. Sigh. You guys don't know. After Brother Yu left, I returned home and began to investigate Ouyang Jing's news. In the end, what gave me a headache was that Ouyang Jing was really in my Long family, and... At this point, Long Feng's words seemed to be choked. His expression was extremely ugly, and he didn't continue speaking. What? Instantly, everyone present was stunned when they heard such a huge piece of news. No matter how they thought about it, they would never have thought that the person Linley was looking for was actually in the Long family. The relationship between the two seemed to be completely unrelated. At this moment, their hearts were filled with doubts. Everyone's gaze shifted to Long Feng, waiting for him to continue the topic. Sigh. When I found Ouyang Jing, I found that his body was covered in wounds. What surprised me the most was that Ouyang Jing was actually the lover of the Long family's current family head. I heard that the two of them even had 3 children. Boom. At this moment, even more heavy news came, causing their minds to go blank. Tell me, what should we do now? At this moment, Long Feng was filled with fear as he asked Su Chu and the other old guys. Suddenly, there was a rare silence in the villa. After everyone heard Long Feng's words, they all fell silent. After a long time, Su Chu, who had been silent for a long time, said, Brother Long, we really can't help with this matter. You know that even before Lin Rei underwent his tribulation, the 5 of us were already no match for him. Now that he has broken through, what more? That's right. Brother Long, if we were to intervene, not only would we not be able to help you, but we would also have to destroy the family that has been passed down for thousands of years. At this moment, the other 4 old ancestors looked at Long Feng with troubled expressions. Actually, this was understandable. After all, no one would want to use their family as a bargaining chip. Even if they knew that they were going to die, they would still rush forward. Unless that person was sick, that person would be a fool. Sigh. It looks like the Long family's luck is at its end. When Long Feng had asked for their help, there was still a glimmer of hope in his eyes. Now, his face was ashen, and there was only despair in his eyes. This, Brother Long. Don't blame us. It's not that we don't want to help you. You know that if we were alone, we would definitely help you. However, we have a family behind us that depends on us. So we're sorry. The apology sounded like a joke to Long Feng's ears. However, he could not bring himself to hate them for not helping him. All right, I understand. Since that's the case, I'll take my leave first. I'll go back and make preparations so that the younger generation can leave as soon as possible. After making his decision, Long Feng bade farewell to Su Chu and the rest. He turned around and walked out of the door. He instantly released his cultivation and soared into the sky, flying towards the Long family. When Su Chu and the rest saw Long Feng leave, they went to the door and looked up at Long Feng's back. They only regained their senses after he had disappeared. Sigh. Everyone, no matter what, we've all been good friends for thousands of years. It wouldn't be right if we didn't help. Let's gather at the Long family tomorrow and help as much as we can. Su Chu looked at the place where Long Feng had disappeared and did not regain his senses for a long time. This was because he felt terrible. After all, Long Feng had just saved his life. Therefore, after making his decision, he turned around and spoke to the people behind him. Since that's the case, let's do it. We should go back and make preparations. We'll gather at the Long family tomorrow. Even if we can't organize it, we can at least save a few lives. Slowly, everyone made their decision and left the Su family's villa one after another. At that moment, the Su family's villa had finally returned to its usual tranquility. Meanwhile, the entire Yanjing had also fallen silent because of the matter between the major families. Nighttime always passed very quickly. In the blink of an eye, it turned from night to day. A day of life had begun. The morning air was often the best. Moreover, the air was even better in a villa area like Tianwan Garden, which was surrounded by mountains and rivers. In the park, people started their morning exercises one after another. Meanwhile, in the courtyard of the Lin family villa in Tianwan Garden, Jin En was topless and practicing a set of punching techniques to train his body. He looked very determined. Every punch carried with it a faint and almost inaudible wind. If one's cultivation was not particularly strong and his perception was not particularly good, it would be impossible to notice this phenomenon. Moreover, every punch of Jin En's punching technique carried with it a murderous aura. It felt as if his entire person had merged with the surrounding air. Haha, like father like son. I didn't expect that the young Sect Master's Dragon Tiger Fist has already reached the realm of becoming one with the fist. If he cultivates further, it's very likely that he'll reach the Qing realm. At that moment, Black Shadow, who had been standing guard around the Lin family, had already returned. He couldn't help but praise Jin En when he saw him practicing his punching technique. Haha, that's right. Don't you know whose son the young Sect Master is? Just the mention of his name is enough to make Tianxian tremble. He's Lin Rei's son. If Lin Rei was here, he would definitely be grinning from ear to ear after hearing Black Shadow's words. Humph, kid, when did your bootlicking skills become so good? At this moment, the black figure who had been admiring Jin En turned his head with a strange expression after hearing his subordinate's words and teased him. That leader. I forgot that I didn't see anyone patrolling over there. I'll go take a look again. Hearing his leader's words, the bootlicking dark group member said something to the Black Shadow and quickly fled the place. Hey, you kid. Seeing that the person had already disappeared, Black Shadow closed his eyes again and fell into a deep sleep. For a leader like him, there was basically nothing for him to do with over 100 members of the Black Shadow protecting the Lin family villa. Therefore, the only thing he had to do now was sleep, drink, eat, sleep, and cultivate. This cycle of life was endless. Jin En, who was practicing his Dragon Tiger Fist, kept repeating it. After finishing one round, he would do it again. This continued for 2 hours. At this moment, Jin En was already lying on the ground in exhaustion. His entire body seemed to have collapsed from exerting too much strength. He lay on the ground motionlessly with his eyes closed. Not only was he tired, but he was also asleep. In a room on the second floor of the villa, Lin Rei, who had been sleeping since last night, opened his eyes groggily. He reached out and picked up the phone on the table beside him. After looking at the time, he came back to his senses and prepared to get up. However, at that moment, he suddenly felt as if he was being pressed down by someone. In the end, when he looked up, he saw that Jean Ling was lying on top of him, sleeping soundly. Haha, this silly girl. What should I say to you? Looking at his wife, Lin Rei was full of helplessness and didn't know what to say. Sigh. With a sigh, Lin Rei slowly pulled his body out. Then, with light movements, he used a strength that Jean Ling couldn't feel. He hugged Jean Ling and placed her on the bed. Then, he covered her with a blanket and tiptoed out. Chapter 256. Lin Rei walked out of his room. He had already made up his mind. Today, he would go to the 5 great families to look for his mother. Even if he had to turn the entire Yanjing upside down, he would find her. He didn't want to drag this out any longer. After getting dressed, he went downstairs and prepared to leave after breakfast. However, at that moment, the sound of boxing came from outside. Hee. Hearing this sound, Linley furrowed his brows. He put down the cooking utensils in his hands and walked towards the direction of the sound of the boxing. Just as he walked out of the villa, he saw a small figure under the sun. He was sweating profusely as he practiced the Dragon Tiger Fist. At that moment, The young man's figure was steady and firm. Hee, this kid. Lin Rei knew that Jinan had stopped what he said yesterday and was working hard. He didn't want to disappoint him. More importantly, he carried the title of the young sect master of the Nine Heavens Xuanzong sect on his shoulders. This was all his motivation, and at the same time, pressure. Seeing that he was working so hard, Lin Rei didn't call him. Instead, he hurried to the kitchen and started cooking. Ping ping pang pang sounds came from the kitchen. The people outside heard it, but they didn't find it strange. After all, this wasn't the first time Lin Rei cooked. Breakfast should be light dishes, but at this moment, there was only meat on the table. Apart from 2 plates of fried eggs and 2 cups of milk, there was nothing else. Half an hour later, the sound of cooking in the kitchen finally disappeared. At the same time, Lin Rei walked out with a big plate of meat with a smile on his face. Hee, this should be enough to replenish his energy down there. At the same time, it should help him increase his strength. TSK, but it doesn't feel like a monster's meat. If it was a monster, then it would be a treasure. At this moment, Lin Rei looked at the meat on the table and couldn't help but sigh regretfully. However, if others heard this, they would definitely think that he was crazy. Of course, this was only for ordinary people. When the meal was ready, Lin Rei took a towel and strolled to the place where Jinan was practicing. Right now, Jinan was already standing, completely exhausted. His fists were waving weakly in the air, and his face was filled with exhaustion. Seeing this, Lin Li's heart ached as he walked over and said, "Don't worry. Son, here, wipe it, then stop practicing. This thing has to be done in moderation. You can't eat everything in one go and become a fatty. Take it slow, one step at a time. This way, the Tao mechanism and foundation will be stable." Jinan, who was too engrossed in his practice, didn't notice that his father had been watching for a long time. It was only when Lin Rei spoke that he noticed. Looking at the towel that was handed to him, Jinan did not refuse. He took it and began to wipe the sweat off his body. "Let's go. Time to eat." After speaking to Jinan, Lin Rei went ahead and sat down at the dining table in the villa. Jinan followed Lin Rei to the dining table. However, the next scene stunned Jinan. Because at this moment, the dining table was filled with meat. There was beef, pork, and a dazzling array of meat. When Jinan saw this, his throat involuntarily squirmed. Most importantly, this meat was all the same as the large pieces of meat he had eaten in the mysterious Sky continent. All of them were palm-sized pieces of meat placed on the table. Hee, kid, how can you be like this just because you see meat? Hurry up and wash up, then come down and eat. After speaking, Lin Rei lowered his head and started to eat. Jinan, on the other hand, quickly went into the bathroom. After a while, Jinan walked out with wet hair and an impatient look on his face. Lin Rei, who was sitting at the dining table, smiled but did not say anything. Jinan did not care about anything. After all, it was his father. Without any reservations, he grabbed a piece of meat and started to tear it into his mouth. Piece by piece, the meat on the table slowly disappeared at a speed visible to the naked eye. What was even more strange was that with every piece he ate, the pain caused by breaking through his limits twice was disappearing bit by bit. Seeing how miraculous the meat on the table was, Jinan let go of his hand and swept it up like a whirlwind. Actually, it wasn't the meat that was miraculous. Rather, when Lin Li was cooking, he had taken a few of Tianji's pills, crushed them, and scattered them on the meat. The meal was quickly finished. Lin Li had finished eating very early, and then he just stared at his son, who was eating happily, with a blissful smile on his face. "After we finish eating, I am going to look for your grandmother. If you want to come, then follow me. If you don't want to, then stay at home and accompany your mother." Grandmother? Lin Rei's words piqued Jinan's curiosity. The term grandmother was very unfamiliar, yet also very familiar. Therefore, when he heard Lin Rei's words, Jinan stopped what he was doing. "Yes, my mother. So, what is your decision?" Lin Rei did not make a decision. Instead, he left the decision to Jinan. I will go. Wait for me. I will change my clothes and follow you." After saying that, Jinan put down the meat in his hand and hurriedly ran upstairs. Not long after, an aristocratic young master in a suit walked down the stairs, looking very handsome. "Hee, kid. Looking at such a handsome son, Linley felt very proud. After all, his son was handsome, so he felt very proud too. It was something that made him feel very proud. All right, let's go. He took the initiative to grab Jinen's hand and let him out of the door. This time, he had mobilized all his men. When they reached the door, he lifted his head and said to the air, "Black Shadow, select 50 people and secretly torture me. When the time comes, if anyone dares to resist, there is no need to listen to my orders. Just kill them directly." With this sudden order, 100 members of the dark operation appeared and knelt on the ground, kowtowing to Lin Rei. "Yes, Sect Master. I will do it right away. All of you can get up. The remaining 50 disciples will guard this place well. Do as I said before. Whoever enters will die." At this moment, Lin Rei was filled with murderous intent as he ordered the members of the dark operation. After he finished speaking, Linley didn't look at them again. He drove away from Sky Bay Garden without looking back. At this moment, Black Shadow followed Lin Rei's orders and selected 50 people from the 100 members of the dark operation. Then, he secretly chased after Lin Rei's car. The remaining 50 members of the dark operation hid themselves and walked around the house to protect the safety of the villa. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was driving, was very excited because he was about to see his mother. The car was heading in the direction of the Ouyang family. But at this moment, the phone rang. Ring ring ring. Ring ring ring, the sound entered Lin Rei's ears. After stopping the car, he picked up the phone and saw the name Murongyu on the screen. After connecting, he asked the person on the other end. "What's wrong, see? That, second brother, I know where Auntie is. You don't have to go to the Ouyang family anymore." See, Murongyu's words directly made Lin Rei's heart jump. Without any hesitation, when he heard the news about his mother, he opened his mouth and asked, not allowing Murongyu on the other end of the phone to finish speaking. "Speak, who captured my mother? Tell me." "Long family. Auntie is now in the Long family. But, second brother, don't be agitated. Perhaps." Ring ring ring. The sound of the phone being hung up could be heard. Murongyu, who was in the Murong family, instantly changed his expression. "Not good. It seems like something bad is going to happen. No, I have to go and take a look. I don't want anything to happen." Looking at the phone that had already been hung up, Murongyu's heart became restless. It was as if something bad was about to happen. In the end, he couldn't bear it any longer and walked out of the house. He drove in the direction of the Long family and quickly left. At the same time, Su Bo and Wang Hong both received a call from Murongyu. After learning about Lin Rei's movements, everyone's first expression was the same as Murongyu's. First, their faces turned ugly. Then, they all drove in the direction of the Long family. At that moment, the person who was feeling the most vexed was none other than Linley. When Hua Sheng heard that his mother was not in the Ouyang clan, but in the Long clan, Linley's killing intent had been aroused. If she was in the Ouyang family, after all, his mother was a child of the Ouyang family. He wouldn't have said anything. He would have just given her a warning. But the Long family, as one of the 5 big families, his mother didn't seem to have any relationship with them. Even if his mother was a person sent by the queen, she wouldn't have captured the Long family for such a long time and not let them go. At this moment, Lin Rei had already blacklisted the Long family in his heart. This matter couldn't be changed by anyone. Lin Rei seemed to have forgotten that his son was also in the car. Just now, because of a moment of excitement, he couldn't control his murderous aura. It directly leaked out, causing Jin, who was in the back seat, to faint. Hee, this little guy. Looking at the fainted Jin in the back seat, Lin Rei quickly used his spiritual power and woke up the fainted Lin Rei. With a guilty expression, he looked at Jin and said embarrassedly, "That, I couldn't control it for a moment. Are you okay?" Jin, who came back to his senses, didn't have any hatred for Lin Rei because of this matter. He said with a smile, I'm fine. I'm just a little dizzy." It was normal for him to feel dizzy. After all, Linley's cultivation base was so powerful that he could kill earthly immortals. "Okay, then you sleep for a while. When we get there, I'll contact you again. In a while, I'll give you a chance to fight. Let me see how strong you are now." After speaking, Linley didn't say anything else. Instead, he used all of his strength to wrap around Jin En, allowing him to rest peacefully without making any noise or shaking. Lin Rei, on the other hand, drove the car to the Long family with mixed feelings. At this moment, in a villa in Beijing, the ancestors of the 5 big families and the current family heads were all there. Among them was a woman. However, this woman looked at everyone timidly and nestled in the arms of a man. Long Feng, just now, I heard from the younger generation of the Su family that a senior is coming in the direction of the Long family. His words caused everyone to be on their guard. Their relaxed bodies tensed up in an instant. Sigh. What's coming will eventually come. Who asked the younger generation of the Long family to kidnap the person that the senior wanted? At this moment, Long Feng was no longer as strong as before. Other than being dispirited, his face was ashen. Moreover, Long Feng seemed to have aged a lot. When the middle-aged man behind Long Feng heard this, his face sank in shame. He didn't dare to say a word. Moreover, he couldn't speak at this moment. Time passed by slowly. For them, every minute that passed was like a day. Finally, what was supposed to come had come. The consciousness of the 5 ancestors had been paying attention to the entrance of the Long family's villa. They wanted to see when Lin Rei would arrive. At this moment, Lin Rei's car finally entered the range of their consciousness. Kacha bang. The car door was pushed open. Lin Rei got out of the car expressionlessly. Then, the sound of another door opening was heard. When Jin En arrived, he was woken up by Lin Rei. Go, Enner. Go. If anyone dares to stand in front of you, don't hesitate. Remember, the entire 9 Heavens Xuanzong sect is behind you. Your father is here to support you. After making this promise, Jin En no longer had any reservations. He quickly walked forward and looked at the tightly shut door of the Long family. Without any hesitation, Jin En kicked the door open. Bam! After a loud bang, the door of the Long family's villa was kicked to one side by Jin En. Furthermore, Jin En's small footprint was left on the door. This scene was deeply imprinted in the minds of the 5 great families' patriarchs. At the same time, they were also shocked. How could a child of this age be so strong? If they had known earlier, the Long family's main gate was made of refined iron. Ordinary people couldn't possibly reach this level. Good. As expected of my son, Lin Rei. Actually, Lin Rei also knew about the Long family's entrance. However, there was still some uncertainty about whether his son could do it. However, it seemed like he had been worried. Let's go. He followed behind his son and walked step by step into the depths of the Long family's villa. Along the way, there were all sorts of people blocking the way of Lin Rei and Jin En. However, Jin En was indeed Lin Rei's son. He went through all sorts of obstacles along the way. Whenever he saw someone blocking his way, Jin En would kick them down without hesitation. When they encountered cultivators who were too strong for Jin En to handle, the dark department hidden in the shadows would appear and kill them without mercy. Chapter 257. Jin En's murderous aura had been honed by killing the people who had blocked his way. At the moment, Jin En had completely become a cultivator and the young sect master of the 9 Sky Xuanzong sect. Lin Rei, who had been following behind Jin En, couldn't help but smile when he saw this scene. He was delighted, as this was exactly what he had wanted. Therefore, Lin Rei felt proud of Jin En for doing such a thing, not because he had killed people. Eventually, a third of the Long clan's low-level cultivators were all taken down by Jin En. There were even some people who looked down on Jin En and killed those who were wearing protective gear after being provoked by their words. At this moment, in the deepest part of the Long family's villa, everyone was scared. Through their divine senses, they saw the scene of Jin En killing people. Their bodies trembled involuntarily, their faces were pale, and cold sweat was dripping down their foreheads. Their divine sense was focused on Lin Li and Jin En, as well as the other members of the Dark Department. Step by step, they walked towards them. The Long family villa had been divided into 2 factions. One was Lin Rei's faction, while the other was the Long family's faction. However, it was obvious that the faction behind the Long family had lost all confidence after Lin Rei's arrival. Lin Rei and Jin En led 50 people into the depths of the Long family villa. When they looked around, they saw their mother leaning on a man. Lin Rei was furious. No matter what the reason was, if that man had dared to do this, then he had to be prepared to bear the brunt of Lin Rei's anger. Lin Rei moved in an instant. His spirit energy erupted and his body started to fade. By the time it reappeared, Lin Rei had already arrived at Ouyang Jing's side. How dare an ant like you touch my mother? You must have a death wish. Lin Li didn't use his full strength. His palm landed directly on the man's chest, and in the next instant, the man was sent flying. As for Lin Li, he carried his mother and returned to Jin En's side. Everything had happened so quickly that no one could react in time. The patriarchs felt a burst of spirit energy, but they didn't see Lin Rei's figure. Meanwhile, the middle-aged man who had been slapped by Lin Rei also flew a few meters before crashing to the ground. With a pu sound, a mouthful of blood was spat out from the middle-aged man's mouth. Some unknown pieces of flesh were mixed within the blood. The scene was extremely shocking. When the people of the Long family regained their senses, they hurriedly retreated to the middle-aged man's side and asked, "Zhong Long family head, are you all right?" Cough cough. I'm fine. Don't worry. Long Zhong raised his head and endured the pain in his chest as he replied to the people who were concerned about him. On the other side, Lin Rei looked at his mother with tears in his eyes. A low and excited voice sounded, interrupting the two people's thoughts. "Humph. You." At this moment, Lin Li was completely enraged. After all, he had finally found his mother, whom he missed dearly. Just as he was about to reunite with her, someone who didn't care about his own life had come forward and interrupted him. This was something that no one wanted to experience. "No, Rei, no. You can't touch him. Can't you?" Lin Rei, who was about to make a move, suddenly stopped his action from his mother under the blanket. This made Lin Rei very confused. He looked at his mother with a puzzled gaze, wanting to seek an answer. "Rei, I'm your father." Boom! This explosive news short-circuited Lin Rei's brain at this moment. His mind went blank. Apart from the words "I'm your father," there was nothing else. The word father was so unfamiliar in the depths of Lin Li's memory. It was so unfamiliar that he had already forgotten about it. Therefore, when this middle-aged man in front of him said that he was his father, Lin Li was immediately stunned. Lei, don't be like this. He is indeed your father. However, due to the circumstances back then, he left and returned to the Long family after I gave birth to the three of you. I didn't want them to find you and I didn't want you to return to your previous life. Thus, I changed your surnames to Lin. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. After Ouyang Jing finished his explanation, Lin Rei laughed out loud. His laughter was full of disdain and helplessness. His face was full of pain as he looked at this so-called father. Ha ha. Father. This word has never existed in the past 20 to 30 years. Now you're telling me that you're my father. Do you think I can accept it? Do you think I can accept it? Moreover, my mother told me with certainty that my father died in an accident again. Therefore, I don't know about you and I don't acknowledge you as my father. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't know what to do. His mother said that his father was dead. Now, an unknown father appeared out of nowhere. How could he accept this? But I'm your father after all. When Long Zhong heard his son say that he was dead, although his heart ached, there was a reason behind it. Yes, Rei, it was only a matter of time before. Forgive your father. He didn't do it on purpose. At this moment, Ouyang Jing and Long Zhong's words lingered in Lin Rei's ears. At this moment, Lin Rei was annoyed and had the urge to shut them up. At this moment, Lin Rei no longer wanted to explain whether he was his father or not. He didn't want to know, and he didn't want to know. Since his father didn't exist in the past few decades, there was no need for him to appear in the future. Humph. All members of the Dark Tribe, listen to my orders. Seal this place. No one is allowed to leave or enter. No one is allowed to enter, no matter who they are. If anyone dares to violate this rule, kill them without mercy. As soon as he said this, the 50 members of the Dark Tribe who had been hiding in the dark revealed themselves immediately and kowtowed to Lin Rei. We will obey the sect leader's orders. In an instant, all the members of the Dark Tribe gathered around the area. Their Mahayana realm spiritual energy was instantly unleashed, and an impenetrable cage appeared. In an instant, the moment the cage appeared, everyone panicked. Some of them even wanted to break out of the cage and leave. Humph. Just a small cage. Do you think it can trap us? Then you think too highly of yourself. At this moment, an idiot who came out of nowhere rushed into the sky. A dermic artifact appeared in his hand and he slashed at the energy shield. Humph. How dare you violate the sect leader's orders? You're courting death. In an instant, a voice resounded abruptly. In the next moment, that challenger died without being able to react at all. Moreover, he didn't even know how he'd died. At this moment, the shadow of the leader of the dark tribe appeared out of thin air. His peak Mahayana realm cultivation instantly crushed down. I said that no one is allowed to leave. This is the first time. If there is a second time, I don't mind killing everyone here. I don't care if he's the patriarch of the 5 major families in Yanjing or the current patriarch. As long as you dare to do this again, I believe you know that I have the ability to do so. At this moment, Lin Rei walked out impatiently and said to everyone present. At the same time, a strong murderous aura was released. Everyone who felt Lin Rei's murderous aura, except for the members of the Dark Tribe, Jin En, and Ouyang Jing, spat out a mouthful of blood under Lin Rei's murderous aura. Their faces instantly turned pale, and their auras weakened. Alright, I'm done talking. Alright, I don't want to say too much. People of the Long clan, tell me why you captured my mother. Also, tell me who did it and who was involved in it. Did my mother get hurt in the Long clan? Did you torture her? Tell me everything. I don't want to use the soul-searching technique, so hurry up and tell me everything. I promise that as long as you hurt my mother and the people who captured her, I will let the rest of the Long clan go. Long Feng, who had been waiting for a long time, had an ugly expression on his face. He was full of helplessness. He muttered in his heart, it's finally here. This day has finally come. Sigh. Alright, I'll tell you everything. As long as you keep your promise and let those who have nothing to do with it go. Hearing Long Feng's words, Lin Rei agreed without any hesitation. Don't worry. Lin Rei, will definitely do what I promise. Since I said that I will let those who have nothing to do with it go, I will. Don't worry. Okay. After getting Lin Rei's promise, Long Feng told him everything he knew. Immediately, everyone present knew the ins and outs of the matter. However, they didn't see that Lin Rei's expression was getting uglier and uglier. When Long Feng finished, Lin Rei could no longer suppress his anger. Humph, Long Shi, Long Batian, and those who hurt my mother, if you don't want your Long family to be destroyed, get out here. His words, which were imbued with spiritual energy, spread out in an instant. Immediately, a terrifying pressure followed his words and suppressed everyone present. At this moment, Long Zhong, who was standing behind Lin Rei, had an ugly expression on his face. Long Shi and Long Batian were his brother and father. According to seniority, they were both Lin Rei's elders. After feeling the murderous aura from his son, Long Zhong quickly stepped forward to stop him. Rei, I beg you don't kill them. They are your family. I beg you. Yes, Rei, although they treated me like that before, they are still your father's family. Look, can you? No. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't care whether they were his family or not. Anyone who hurt his mother must be punished. This was Lin Rei's thought at this moment. There's no room for discussion. So what if they're my family? As long as they hurt you, I won't let any of them off. Even if it's this so-called father, a person who didn't bring me up, do you think you have the right to plead for me? Chapter 258. Lin Rei was a man of his word. He did not want to listen to anything else. He would not let go of the people who had returned his mother. Therefore, Lin Rei did not listen to their pleas. Okay, I will go and bring them all out. Please keep your promise. Long Feng had wanted to ask Ouyang Jing to plead for leniency. But now, it seemed that everything was in vain. Long Feng only hoped that Lin Rei would not bring harm to the innocent people of the Long family. After saying that, Long Feng hurriedly brought people into the room inside. Not long after, An old man and a dozen middle-aged men were caught. At that moment, they were all extremely respectful before Long Feng, and it was not appropriate for them to say anything. After all, Long Feng was their ancestor, and they knew that they only had one choice at that moment, and that was to pay a corresponding price for what they had done before, or even pay an even higher price. Say, Senior, this is Long Batian. The one beside him is Long Shi. Long Feng, who had brought the Long family members to Linley, hurriedly explained the origin of this matter and the main culprit. At this moment, Long Feng still had a little bit of hope in his heart. He hoped that Linley would let them go on account of the fact that blood was thicker than water. After all, they were his family. Oh. Are you the ones who kidnapped my mother and caused her to suffer so much? After hearing Long Feng's introduction, Lin Rei raised his head and looked at Long Batian, who was his so-called grandfather. Lin Rei's anger soared. He did not understand why he had made such a decision back then. Humph, little bastard. I should have killed you back then to prevent future troubles. I didn't expect that you would grow to such a level today. I don't want to say much about it. I just want you to give me a quick death. After hearing Lin Rei's words, Long Batian, the former head of the Long family, knew that the young man in front of him was the son of that bitch back then. He also knew that Lin Rei was here for revenge. Therefore, he did not plead for leniency. Instead, he asked for death directly. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Well, family headlong is indeed the family headlong. You're really bold. You know that you've done something wrong, but you can still speak so confidently. I really admire you. However, don't you think that I'm letting you off too easily if I kill you now for what happened back then? Originally, Lin Rei wanted to give them a quick and painless death, but when he heard Long Batian call him a little bastard, Lin Rei decided that he couldn't let this matter rest. You, what do you want? Long Batian's heart trembled after seeing Lin Rei's bloodthirsty expression. He knew that something bad was about to happen. He couldn't help but ask Lin Rei. Hee, you'll know in a while. However, don't worry. I will definitely let you experience this shock. Long Shi's face was ashen, and his entire body was trembling as he stared fixedly at Linley, who was extracting his soul. He wanted to speak, but for some reason, he was unable to speak. As he ate, he felt as though his soul was being sucked away, and he had no strength left in him at all. Slowly, 5 minutes passed. Long Shi's 7 orifices started to bleed and Lin Rei's hand started to move. A transparent figure appeared in Lin Rei's hand. It was a figure that looked exactly the same as what Long Shi had imagined. Other than the fact that the body was transparent, everything else was the same. The pain grew stronger and stronger. Long Shi's mouth was wide open as he howled in pain. However, he didn't dare to howl because no one could hear him. Other than his pained expression, they couldn't feel anything else. As powerful cultivators, the 5 patriarchs, Long Batian, and the others could see that Long Shi's soul was being slowly extracted from his body by Linley's hand. Those with lower cultivation bases weren't able to see the soul at all. All they could see was Long Shi bleeding from every orifice, a look of agony on his face. You can't do this. He is your uncle after all. Aren't you afraid of being punished by the heavens? At this moment, Long Batian finally understood what Lin Rei meant when he said that he wouldn't let them die in pain. Long Shi was his son, his most beloved son. He couldn't just watch as his son's soul was being extracted right in front of him. He couldn't just stand by and watch as his son's soul was being extracted. Humph, uncle? No, he's not my uncle. If he was my uncle, would he have imprisoned my mother? If he was my uncle, would he have beaten my mother up? So, he's not my uncle. He's a demon, a beast. Since that's the case, there's no need for him to take over a human's body. So you should thank me. I'm helping him. Hearing Long Batian's words, Lin Rei glared at Long Batian with a vengeful gaze. The malevolent aura around him surged once more, reaching a peak. Everyone was speechless. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with Lin Rei's words. They wanted to rebut, but they didn't know what to do. Hurry. Hurry and help. He's your younger brother. Are you just going to watch your son kill your younger brother? Just as Long Batian was helpless, he suddenly thought of his eldest son, Long Zhong. With a pleading tone, he begged his eldest son. With a loud thud, Long Batian fell to his knees and begged Long Zhong and Ouyang Jing. Ouyang Jing, I beg you. Please help. After all, he's Zhong, Er's younger brother. He's your brother-in-law. Please ask your son to let Shi go. Ouyang Jing, who was already beautiful, nodded in agreement when he saw his father-in-law, who had always refused to acknowledge him, kneeling before him and begging for help. You. Please get up. I promise you. But I don't know if it'll work, so I can't guarantee the outcome. Although he said yes, Ouyang Jing couldn't guarantee it. He couldn't guarantee that he would be able to persuade his son, who couldn't be born in 3 years. So he told him the outcome in advance, so that he wouldn't feel guilty if he didn't succeed. Okay, thank you. As long as you can beg him not to kill Long Shi, anything is negotiable. Finally, seeing that Ouyang Jing agreed, Long Batian hurriedly stood up. A rare smile appeared on his bitter face. Feeling helpless, Ouyang Jing walked step by step to his son, Lin Rei. He said softly, Rei, you. Just be him. After all, he's your uncle and your father's younger brother. If you kill him like this, isn't it a little? Before Ouyang Jing could finish, Lin Rei interrupted. Yes, that's right. Okay, mother, I won't kill him. Ah, really? You really won't kill him? Hearing his son's words, Ouyang Jing was surprised. He didn't understand. His son had said that he would kill Long Shi. Why did he suddenly change his mind? Chapter 259. Lin Rei wouldn't reject his mother's request. However, Lin Rei wouldn't let people like Long Shi and Long Batian off. Therefore, I won't do anything to them. Don't worry, mother. Lin Rei's next words surprised everyone. After making his promise to Ouyang Jing, he turned around and spoke to Jin En, who had been silent all this while, with a murderous look in his eyes. Your grandmother was bullied. Tell me, what are you going to do? His words stunned everyone, especially Ouyang Jing. When she saw Jin En standing not too far away, combined with her son's words, she knew that this child was her grandson. Humph! This bastard dared to bully my grandmother. He can only die. That's the only way those ants won't dare to be impudent. Hiss! A breath of cold air was sucked into everyone's mouths. Their eyes were wide open, and they had an expression of disbelief. This was because it was very difficult for a 5- or 6-year-old child to be so decisive. However, this child in front of them had actually said something that even a teenager wouldn't dare to say. Ha ha ha, good. You're indeed my son, Lin Rei. Since that's the case, you'll be the one to avenge your grandmother. Seeing his son agree so readily, a smile appeared on his face. Lin Li, who had been empty-handed, suddenly pulled out the 10,000 art sword of the changing wood into his hands. Here. Use this sword to kill this bastard. As a reward, I'll give you a treasure that will be of great help to you. As he spoke, Lin Li used his spiritual energy to form a hand made of spiritual energy. He grabbed the sword and presented it to Jin En with a smile on his face. This scene wasn't much to the people who had been killed by Lin Li in the profound sky continent, but to the people here, it was something that they couldn't imagine. After Jin En agreed, he grabbed the Emu 10,000 Laws sword and walked towards Long Shi step by step. To Long Shi, every step he took was like the god of death waving at him. Jin En came in front of Long Shi and raised the long sword in his hand without any hesitation. From top to bottom, he directly slashed Long Shi's neck. A gaping wound appeared on Long Shi's body. Following that, Long Shi's vitality disappeared. Finally, he died. This scene happened so quickly. The crowd didn't even have time to react. They didn't think that this kid would dare to kill someone. Father, he's dead. After killing Long Shi, Jin En, who was holding the Emu 10,000 magical sword, turned around and reported to Lin Rei. Haha, good son. Come over and kneel down to greet your grandmother. When he heard Jin En's words, Lin Rei was very pleased. He didn't want his son to be weak. If he was weak, he would die a horrible death in the cultivation world. This wasn't what he wanted. Therefore from now on he would train him strictly. Killing was one of the training. Oh, I understand. When Lin Rei reappeared, he was already beside Long Batian. For Long Batian, who was only at the lower stage of the form synthesis realm, Lin Rei could kill him with one finger even if he didn't use the Martial Emperor Divine Spear. Lin Rei didn't give Long Batian any chance to speak. The moment he came behind Long Batian, he raised the Martial Emperor Divine Spear and stabbed it into Long Batian's back. The spear pierced through Long Batian's chest and into the ground. This happened so fast that no one could react. They only knew that Long Batian rushed out, but they didn't see Lin Rei's reaction. However, after this scene appeared in their eyes, everything was irreversible. Chapter 260. Everything was resolved at this moment. Lin Rei had no intention of killing the rest of the people from the Long family. He had kept his promise to Long Feng and killed the person in charge. As for the rest, it didn't matter if Lin Rei killed them or not. After all, he didn't want his image of a cold-blooded killer to be imprinted in his mother's heart. This wasn't something that he wanted to see, and it wasn't something that he wanted to see. At this moment, everyone present, including Xueqi Man had already forgotten about the kind and warm-hearted person in front of them. In their hearts, other than the cold-blooded person who killed without batting an eyelid, everything in the past had become a thing of the past. It was no longer worth remembering. All right, remove the seal. Now that everything was resolved, Lin Rei's tense body and mind finally relaxed. Then, he raised his head and instructed the Dark Team members around the villa. The moment Lin Rei finished speaking, the 50 members of the Dark Team all removed their spiritual energy and returned to stand behind Lin Rei. The black figure from the Dark Team, who had been vigilant of the surroundings to prevent anyone from escaping, returned to Lin Rei's side and spoke respectfully to Lin Rei. Sect leader, what should we do with those people? Although they weren't the ones in charge, they were still indirectly involved. Do you need me? At this moment, the black figure looked at the dozens of people who had been captured by Long Feng. Long Batian and Long Shi, who were the ones in charge, were still alive. As such, the black figure asked for instructions from Lin Rei. However, he couldn't help but place a hand on his neck and make a killing gesture. Do as you deem fit. Remember, destroy all the corpses. We have killed their people, so we still have to clean up their mess. Although these words were nice, they were extremely harsh to the ears. It was as if he was mocking the Long family. Yes, your subordinate obeys. After receiving Lin Rei's permission, the black figure did not hesitate. He directly led a dozen people, and in the blink of an eye, the dozen people from the Long family who were originally standing had already fallen to the ground, dead. Then, a huge fire appeared on the bodies of those who had already died. Not long after, the deepest part of the Long family's villa returned to its original state. Even the smell of blood left behind by the killings was burned away at this moment. Killing and burning corpses is a common sight in the profound sky continent. There isn't a moment when people don't kill. However, this is an era of technology, an era that doesn't advocate cultivation. Therefore, when everyone saw this scene, their worldview was completely overturned. Everything had come to an end. At this moment, Lin Li's biggest thought was to quickly find a way to leave this place and go to a higher plane to train. He wanted to succeed in his training as soon as possible. After all, there was still a mission to rescue the Pai Xiao. Time waited for no man. Turning around, Lin Rei looked at his mother, Ouyang Jing, who had been standing behind him all this time. He said to her with a smile, "Mother, I have avenged you. Let's go home. In a while, I will ask the black figure to bring Lin Feng and Lin Ro back. This way, our family can be reunited." When he was in the profound sky continent, Lin Rei had been looking forward to this moment. It was also because of the motivation of having a family that Lin Rei had been able to cultivate so quickly and desperately. Therefore, at this moment, Lin Rei couldn't wait to go home immediately and personally cook a meal for Ouyang Jing so that the family could sit together and enjoy a reunion meal. Okay. Let's go then. At this moment, although Ouyang Jing had been frightened by the way her son had killed without batting an eyelid, after thinking about it, she felt that it was all for her. Therefore, at this moment, she felt relieved. Especially when she heard about her second son and third daughter, Ouyang Jing wanted to go home immediately. Okay. Seeing that his mother had agreed, Lin Rei hurriedly said to the black figure behind him, "Black figure, Go to Yanjing University and bring Xiaofeng and Xiao Rou to Tianwan Garden. As for the car outside, find someone to drive it back. Yes, I will do it right away. The black figure who had been standing at the side waiting for the task, responded after hearing Lin Rei's order and disappeared on the spot. Before he left, he ordered someone to drive Lin Rei's car back to Tianwan Garden. All right, Mother. Close your eyes. When you open them again, we will be back at my place. Furthermore, I will have a kind and gentle daughter-in-law. Seeing that everything had been settled, Lin Li turned to his mother. After saying that, he circulated his spiritual energy and wrapped it around Ouyang Jing and Jin En. Then, he teleported and disappeared from the spot. Phew, he is finally gone. At this moment, the moment Lin Rei left, the group of people collapsed on the ground. Some of them even cried, including Xue Man. Even the 5 patriarchs weren't as strong as Lin Li. In the instant that Lin Li left, their taut nerves relaxed, and smiles appeared on their faces. Haha, all right, Brother Long Feng. This time, the calamity of the Long family is over. As long as we don't provoke that person in the future, I believe that our lives will be better. At this moment Su Chu, who was well aware of the situation, smiled and said to Long Feng, who was beside him, who was filled with helplessness. Haha, I hope so. Don't forget that there is still Long Zhong here. Do you think that he will be inferior to him? I don't dare to guarantee anything else, but I am certain that it is impossible for that person to acknowledge Long Zhong as his father. Perhaps, if you anger that person, it will bring disaster to the Long family again. After the other 3 heard Long Feng's words, they began to discuss. In the end, Long Feng decided to directly remove Long Zhong from his position as the patriarch of the Long family. Only this way, if he made a mistake in the future, he would not care about the Long family and do what he wanted to do. After all, he had already done so much for Long Zhong in the past. The Long family owed him. After the matter was settled, Su Chu and the other old ancestors did not stay any longer. After dispersing, they brought their descendants and left the Long family's villa in a hurry. Tianwan Garden. At the entrance of the Lin family's villa. After leaving the Long family's villa, Lin Rei, Ouyang Jing, and Jin En teleported back to their own villa. Phew! After returning to his own villa and seeing this familiar scene, Lin Rei heaved a sigh of relief and relaxed a lot. Haha, Mother, we are home. You can open your eyes now. Lin Rei couldn't help but remind his mother when he saw that her eyes were still tightly shut. After the spiritual energy dissipated, the 3 of them appeared in the courtyard of the villa. At this moment, Jin En opened his eyes first and ran into the villa. Perhaps he was going to call his mother, or perhaps he was hungry. No one knew. Hearing her son's words, Ouyang Jing slowly opened her eyes. However, due to her age, it was inevitable that her eyes would feel a little uncomfortable when she opened her eyes. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei couldn't help but feel sour in his heart. Fortunately, Lin Rei controlled himself well and didn't cry because of this. After her eyes adjusted, Ouyang Jing raised her head and looked at the house that belonged to her son. Looking at the villa, Ouyang Jing felt very gratified because this was what she had hoped for her son since he was young. And at this moment, Lin Li had clearly achieved it. Good, good, good. I knew that my son was the best. Mother is happy for you for having such achievements. At this moment, Ouyang Jing smiled. It was a kind of relaxed smile that came from the inside out. At this moment, this smile was deeply imprinted in Lin Rei's mind and could never be erased. Okay, let's go in. I don't know if your daughter-in-law is awake yet. Knowing that Jean Ling slept like that yesterday, he couldn't guarantee that Jean Ling was awake at this moment. Haha, young people. Besides, she gave birth to such a chubby son for you. Is it wrong for her to sleep with him? Besides, didn't you often laze in bed in the past? I didn't say anything. In an instant, after hearing his mother's words, Lin Rei's face instantly turned into a bitter smile. He didn't expect that before he even saw his daughter-in-law, he would start to protect her. How was he going to live like this in the future? Okay. You're right. Sigh. It seems that there's no place for me in this family in the future. Chapter 261. At this moment, Ouyang Jing pulled Jean Ling into the villa alone, but left Lin Rei outside, as if he had forgotten about her existence. Am I still your biological son? Everyone says that when you have a wife, you forget your mother. I think they are all wrong. When you have a wife, you forget your son. Although Lin Rei was very helpless at this moment, he was very happy in his heart. Because of his wife's identity and his mother's love, he was very happy. Sigh. Let's go. If your grandmother doesn't want us, then I'll go and cook for you. I'll let you grow up quickly and then find a daughter-in-law for me. After glancing at Jean N and saying something that Jean N didn't understand, he pulled him out of the villa. Walking into the villa, Ouyang Jing and Jean Ling were sitting on the sofa and talking about something. The two of them couldn't close their mouths from ear to ear. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei didn't go forward to disturb them. Instead, he walked into the kitchen alone and began to cook. At this moment, the black shadow that went to pick up Lin Feng and Lin Ro from Yenjing University had already returned. Behind him was the younger brother and sister that Lin Rei had asked him to pick up. However, at this moment, Lin Feng and Lin Ro ran into the villa with tears in their eyes with excitement. As soon as the two of them entered the door, they heard their mother and sister-in-law chatting and laughing. They hadn't heard this kind of laughter for a long time. When they heard it again, the tears in their eyes couldn't help but flow down. Mom. Ouyang Jing, who was chatting with Jean Ling, turned his head when he heard these two calls. He saw Lin Feng and Lin Ro standing at the door, crying. For a moment, Ouyang Jing didn't have time to chat with Jean Ling. He quickly stood up and walked towards his son and daughter who he hadn't seen for many years. Immediately, the three of them hugged each other and began to greet each other warmly. They even asked about boyfriend and girlfriend. Jean Ling, who was sitting on the sofa, didn't disturb them when she saw this scene. Instead, she quietly went to the kitchen. Sensing the arrival of his wife, Lin Rei did not make any movements. Instead, he continued to cook. However, at this moment, Jean Ling, who was behind Lin Rei, looked at her husband who was cooking. Tears instantly flowed from her eyes. She quickly stepped forward and hugged Lin Rei from behind. She leaned her head against Lin Rei's back and silently cried. Just now, when Jean Ling saw the scene between Ouyang Jing, Lin Feng, and Lin Ro, the memories that had been sealed away in her mind resurfaced. The memories of when she was in the profound heaven realm and with her grandfather involuntarily resurfaced. Lin Rei, who was cooking, felt that his wife was acting strangely. He stopped what he was doing and turned around. Seeing his wife crying, Lin Rei knew that she missed her grandfather. Ling don't cry, don't cry. I know you are Grandpa Zhang, but we don't know where Grandpa went. Since this is Grandpa's choice, then we should respect his choice. Moreover, don't you still have me? I will always be by your side. He turned around and hugged Jean Ling to comfort her. However, he knew that it would take a long time to suppress this feeling. Boo-hoo. I know, but I miss Grandpa very much. Just like this, the two hugged each other. After a long time, Jean Ling's longing for her family faded a little. Well, don't think about it. When I have the strength in the future, I will take you to the profound heaven realm to see why Grandpa left. Well, okay. Hearing her husband's words, Jean Ling agreed happily. Well, you go out and accompany your mother. I am still cooking. At this time, Lin Rei released his wife and turned around to start cooking. Jean Ling did not listen to her husband. Instead, she flowed down and began to help. The two began to get busy in the kitchen. In the hall outside, Lin Feng and Lin Ro told everything that had happened in the past few years, including how Lin Rei came to find them after he came back. They told them everything without missing a word. Similarly, Ouyang Jing also told Lin Feng and Lin Ro that Long Zhong was their father. He also told them that their father was still alive. However, it was better than before. When Lin Feng and Lin Ro learned that their father was still alive, they were overjoyed. They had been bullied since they were young. They were said to be wild children without a father. Every time, it was Lin Rei who helped them take revenge. Therefore, they longed to have a father. Feng Ro, your big brother seems to be very conflicted about this matter. He saw your father, but your big brother said that he would not recognize him. Why don't you calculate his death after you finish eating? At this time, Ouyang Jing was very worried about Long Zhong. In one day, his father and brother were killed by his son and grandson. This kind of pain was unimaginable. Moreover, his son did not recognize him. Therefore, Ouyang wanted to return to Long Zhong's side, stay by his side, and comfort him. Mother, we can't do anything about this matter. Since Big Brother came back more than a year ago, everything has changed. At this time, we have no way to persuade Big Brother. Therefore, I'm afraid this matter is very difficult. After hearing his mother's words, Lin Feng did not agree or refuse. Instead, he told his mother what he knew. That's right, Mother. Besides, Big Brother is also a father. He knows the difficulties of being a father. Therefore, if Big Brother wanted to acknowledge me, he would have done so before. Therefore this matter. After hearing her two sons' words, Ouyang fell silent. She knew that her two sons' words were very reasonable. At this time, Lin Rei, who was in the kitchen, heard all the conversation between the three of them. This was something that Ouyang and the others did not know. Without speaking, Lin Rei continued to cook. Soon, after the meal was ready, Lin Rei put all the dishes on the table. Then, he took out a jar of huadiao wine and walked out. Mother, brother, Xiao Rou, come and eat. The food won't taste good if it gets cold. After arriving at the table, Lin Rei called out to Ouyang, Lin Rou, and Lin Feng, who were sitting on the sofa. He sat down alone. Okay. The whole family sat around the table at noon. Lin Rei opened the jar of huadiao wine. Everyone drank a little, except for Jean N. Then he said with a smile, Mother, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Therefore, this glass of wine is for our reunion. After speaking, Lin Rei drank a glass of wine directly. Perhaps because he was relaxed and happy to see his family, after a glass of wine, he was tipsy. After all, they wanted to follow their father's life when they were very young. Lin Rei shouldn't be like them. Lin Rei's words had just left his mouth when the mother and children sitting opposite him looked at Lin Rei with eyes full of surprise. At this moment, they didn't know what Lin Rei was thinking. Sigh. Actually, I don't want to say anything more. I originally didn't have time to accompany you. The main purpose this time was to find Mother and then give you enough support so that people wouldn't dare to look down on you. I wanted to let you live a good life. But now, it seems that there's no need. At this moment, Lin Rei decided to tell the news that he was about to leave. However, it seemed that everything he had done before was now in vain. His mother and the others no longer needed the Nine Heavens Trading Company. After Lin Rei laughed self-deprecatingly, a jar of flower jiao wine suddenly appeared in his hand. After sealing it, he raised his head and began to pour it into his mouth. Gulp! Gulp! The sound was like a heart, directly striking the hearts of the three people. However, Lin Rei's actions stunned Lin Feng and Lin Rou, who were arranging what was going on. Big brother, this wine is how? Lin Rou, who was sitting across from Linley, couldn't hold back her curiosity and asked Linley. Her tone was filled with curiosity. Phew! Mother, I know that you want to return to that person's side. Moreover, you're willing to bring Lin Feng and Lin Rou with you. You even asked them to persuade me. However, what you don't know is that I came back this time to see you. As for what happened after that, I didn't expect it. Fortunately, this matter has been resolved. I have nothing to miss here anymore. I've left the mortal world and my heart is free. There's nothing here for me to miss anymore. There's no place for me here. Beside him, Ouyang had been thinking about what her son meant. At this moment, Ouyang was even more certain that her son was going to leave her again. Thinking of this, Ouyang became anxious. It was so difficult for her family to reunite. She hadn't even had a chance to properly talk, and now she was going to leave. What was she going to do? No. No, son, you can't leave. You've already left for 2 years. I won't let you leave. Ouyang was scared. She was really scared. She was afraid of separation. She was afraid that her eldest son would leave her again. She didn't want to suffer a second separation. None of this was what she wanted. What? Big brother, you're leaving? Why? Where are you going? Yes, big brother, why are you leaving again? Isn't it good for our family to live together? Lin Feng and Lin Ro came out of their daze after hearing the conversation between their mother and brother. Thinking that their brother was going to leave again, the two of them hurriedly expressed their doubts. They didn't want to see their brother leave without knowing the reason. Leave. Yes, I'm leaving. I've been back for more than 2 years. I've done what I needed to do. You have someone to rely on and don't need me anymore. Since that's the case, it's time for me to find my Tao. Only Lin Feng and Lin Ro didn't understand Lin Rei's words. Everyone else understood the meaning of Lin Rei's words. What Tao? I only know that, big brother, you can't leave us. At most, we won't acknowledge you. We won't acknowledge that person anymore. Please don't leave, okay? The two of them foolishly thought that their brother was leaving because of the person they wanted. In fact, they didn't know that Lin Rei had planned for a long time. Well, you can go now. I know that your dream since childhood is to live a father's life. Now, your wish has been fulfilled. But my life is not here. My life is destined to be full of blood and bodies. So our lives are different. Once, I wanted to take you with me, but you chose to live a peaceful life first. Moreover, I don't want to see you become people who treat human lives like grass. So after all, we're not on the same path. With that, Lin Rei stood up. He ignored everyone and went straight to his room. He left everyone. Alas! Mother, don't blame husband. With that, Jean Ling also stood up and walked to her room. She knew that her husband was in pain at this time. She couldn't help him. The only thing she could do for him was to accompany him. At this moment, the 4 people at the table were all silent. They didn't know that this would happen today, and they didn't understand why. Of course, only Ouyang Jing and Jean En knew. Mother, why? Why did brother say such things? What do you mean by bodies floating for thousands of miles? What the hell is this? Finally, Lin Feng, who had been silent for a long time, asked the doubts in his heart. He was sure that his mother definitely knew something about it. Haha, Feng, maybe you don't know. In this world, there are not only ordinary people, but also special people. Maybe you've heard of cultivators, or maybe you think that cultivators are made up in novels. But what I want to tell you is that cultivators really exist, and your brother is a cultivator. If I'm not wrong, your sister-in-law and nephew are also cultivators. With that, Ouyang Jing's eyes turned to Jean En, wanting to confirm the accuracy of this matter. Well, Grandma is right. Here, except for you, everyone else is a cultivator. However, my mother and father's cultivation has reached a certain level, and they are about to break through to the immortal level. I'm just a child who has just started cultivating. Boom! After getting the confirmation of this matter, Lin Feng and Lin Ro's minds went blank. They couldn't believe that their nephew and sister-in-law, who had lived with them for more than a year, were cultivators that they couldn't even imagine and could only imagine. Their worldview was completely subverted at this moment. They found it hard to believe that what their mother said was true. Well, Grandma, take your time to eat. I'll go back to my room first. As for what you want to know more, you can only tell Long Zhong from the Long family. I believe that he will be very willing to tell you everything, and even teach you cultivation methods for you to cultivate. After Jean En explained to them, he didn't say anything more. Instead, he stood up and said goodbye to them, but the way he said goodbye was a bit special. Slowly, Jean En left, and so did Queen Sentixiu. Only Long Feng and Lin Ro were left in the living room. When the two of them came back to their senses, it was already very, very late. Therefore, the two of them didn't say anything and returned to their respective rooms to lie on their beds. However, tonight was destined to be a sleepless night. Chapter 263. Lin Rei and Jean Ling, who had returned to their rooms, lay on the bed and slept soundly. However, on the surface, Lin Rei looked like he was sleeping soundly, but in fact, he had entered the system. Lin Rei, who had just returned to his room, lay on the bed and let you enter the system in order to ask the little dragon about the entrance to leave this place and go to a higher plane to cultivate. Jean Ling then returned to the room and saw that her husband had fallen asleep. She thought that Lin Rei was like this because he was too sad, so she did not care. Instead, She snuggled up in Lin Rei's arms and fell asleep. At this time, in a space in the system, Lin Rei looked at the little dragon who had appeared and asked, "Little dragon, I've finished the matter here. Tell me, how can we leave here and go to a higher plane?" To Xiaolong, Linli didn't need to beat around the bush, because there was no need to. After all, the two of them had known each other for many years and had already become indispensable friends. Although the two of them would occasionally bicker, this was just their way of talking. "Oh, so fast. When you were in Tianxian, didn't you insist on coming back? Moreover, at that time, you wanted to stay here for a few decades. Why? You've only been back for a few years and you can't stay anymore?" Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon did not hide its teasing at Lin Rei. It had a despicable and annoying look. "Sigh. To be honest, when I was in Tianxian, I had been working hard to come back. Even if I encountered danger, as long as I could increase the chance to go home, I would do everything to work toward this goal. However, after I was released, I worked hard to find my mother. Now that I've found my mother, I'm at a loss." At that moment, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with confusion. After finding his mother, taking revenge for her, and reuniting with his family, Linli's nerves, which had been stretched taut for a long time, suddenly relaxed. His heart was at a loss. He didn't know what to do next. There was always a voice in his heart telling him that he didn't belong in this life. And so, Linli had come. He had come to ask Xiaolong for a solution. "Haha. I knew that you wouldn't be able to stay here for long, but I didn't expect that you would only stay here for a year." At this moment, the little dragon was in the air with his hands behind his back. From the back, he looked like an enlightened master. However, from the front, coupled with his words, he looked like a gangster. "Oh, then hurry up and tell me how to leave this place. An easy life will only wear away my will. Only by fighting, only in the cultivation world can I continue to move forward." Lin Rei was really anxious. Although he had just broken through to the peak of the Mahayana realm, he could feel that his realm had stagnated. Moreover, his cultivation base and spiritual energy didn't seem to be as strong as before. Rotten wood can't be carved. I say, Linli, are you an idiot? You're usually so clever. Why is it that when it comes to serious matters, your cleverness is all gone? What? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei was stunned at first. Then, he asked the little dragon for guidance with a courteous attitude. "I know, little dragon, you're the best. I'm on fire now. How can I still have time to think? Hurry up and tell me." Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon also knew that now was not the time to fool around. Then, he began to seriously talk to Lin Rei about the solution. "Have you forgotten? Didn't I give you a spatial immortal weapon called the Cosmos Bell before? You can use the time difference between inside and outside to cultivate your formation. That way, only 3 or 4 days will have passed outside for a year inside." The little dragon's words enlightened Lin Rei. At this moment, Lin Rei really wanted to find a hole in the ground and crawl into it. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.